Mm-hmm. It's just stay the same length. Yeah. But all has to do with how intertwined the cardiovascular is with your joints. Yeah. Which makes them obsolete. What's up, everybody? We are live, man. Basically, it has to be like your skeleton process. Yeah, what you doing, bro? It's unique and very unique and mysterious. Oh, crib had more order, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Y'all ain't seen no crib. At least you talking about just rolling in. Cause listen, so remember the old crib? It was a game. It was a dedicated game room. Soon we'll be telling the whole. Listen, so the old crib. Oh, that's how it looked. It was a game. It was a dedicated game. Soon we'll be telling the whole. Cool. So y'all hate me. We don't love you. I definitely don't love you. Is the mic right here? Yeah. That's the mic. We hating on you today, bro. That's what we here to do, bro. That's what it is. Why you smiling so hard? Bro. So why do you hate me? I don't know you. Why do we hate you? Yeah. I'm gonna say for myself. Say for yourself. For myself? Mm-hmm. I don't think your music better than mine. How come you're not where I'm at in life, bro? Cause you older than me? How old are you? 20. When I was 20, what happened? They can see me, can't see me. How I look? Show me how I look. Yeah, I ain't even saying. Say that one more time, what you said? Why do I hate you? Yeah, you said your music. Your music ain't better than mine, bro. That's it. That ain't hate, that's just facts. You get a promo your music. Do I get a promo my music? I said you get a promo your music. I'm not here to promo my music, but I'm here to tell you to a freestyle maybe. See what's up, you probably gotta get Google Translate on me in Spanish, but I mean, that's it right there. Yeah, you don't hate me, bro. They got you, go ahead. Hey man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't hate you as a person, but music wise, I ain't gonna lie. I think that there's no reason, like you have no intent in your music, and that's. We're Disorented, Georgia, here to inspire you to live beautifully at home, driven by a passion for design and clear point. That's why I hate you. I'm gonna be honest. Music is art form, and I feel like you have no intent behind it. You don't like your albums. I listened to it back before I came here. Every time I tell that one of my homies talking about EDG, like. right off rip. It's not even a game. And you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I don't think you're really that bad as a person, but when it comes to your music, it's just something that I don't really mess with. It's just like there's no intent. What's the design behind it? What's the creativity? Where's it at?
What's your name?
What's my
Because
name?
I don't know you.
You don't know me?
And how old are you?
20 years old.
You're 20.
20. Just turned 20.
You still your mom?
I don't know what I'm actually.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna press you.
You ain't gonna press me on that? No, go ahead and say it. Now you got no reason to hit your ass.
No,
I'm just saying, like, I to the level, you feel me?
I don't say that.
Hey man, I respect that. See, this is why, you know, I'm gonna give you your props. Like you got that.
So what do you want to do when you grow up?
Be artist. I'm gonna be bigger than you.
Think so?
Yeah, I know that.
I was early in that house.
No, I kept up with you. I ain't acting like I don't know you. I'm gonna give you your props.
I know everything.
But the way you blew up shouldn't have been the way you blew up. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like your music is not why you blew up. And I'm gonna hate on your music. I'm gonna just hate on your music.
It's cool. You can hate on my music, but you listen to Taylor Swift. You listen to Billie Eilish.
You think I'm white, huh?
You listen to Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, he think I'm white. He think he don't even know.
I know you right, bitch. But I'm asking you, these people selling our stadiums.
Yeah.
Whether you like my shit or not, I'm a platinum selling artist. If you watch my streams, YouTube videos, nothing. I make ends off music. So is anybody in the room living there?
Bobby.
Oh, okay. Bobby, how close are you? How close are you? So talking about I'm a million spirit. Okay, would you do music? Would you do music for $0? Would you do music for $0?
I do it right now.
Why you want to be big? You want to be bigger than me so you can make money. That's what you want. Yep. He says I want to be bigger than me in music, but I never heard a song from you, nigga.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest.
I never heard a song from you, nor do I want to because I don't know you.
That's fair.
But guess what? All y'all these motherfuckers know me. At the end of the day, I can be nice or I can be mean.
Hey, I'm gonna be real. But you telling me when some point, I'm gonna be honest with you, fam. I be hanging out with my guys. I was like, oh, I'm coming to DDG's house, all right? I told him, I was like, hey, like let me listen to this album, right? We went back and we listened to your newest tape. I'll give you a credit. The one tape with speed and all them features, okay, that was a fun album. It was fun. But where's the intent is what I'm saying. Where's the art form? I feel like there's nothing there. Like there's no replayability. Every time I really try to get into it, and I'm not saying you don't got hits. I ain't saying you don't got hits, but I just hate the approach to music. I feel like you're way too talented. You're my favorite artist? Myself.
No, not you. Who's your favorite artist? Who do you buy a ticket to go see? Okay. So explain to me the intent and that you get from Travis Scott.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Explain it. I want to know.
All right, look at Travis, right? Look at his first album. Look at Rodeo. Look at Rodeo. One of the most experimental albums. That's already something right there that you can take. That's what I was going to bring up to you. I really wanted to get this to you as not a fan, but somebody who like respects you, appreciates you.
Tell me the intent you get from Travis Scott. I know from you.
All right. I hear Travis Scott. I'm hearing the story. I'm hearing what happened. I'm feeling euphoric. I'm feeling something. Euphoria. You telling me when you listen to Travis, you not feeling that rage. You listen to Travis.
Yeah, you feel turned up. You feel like you want to go get something. You want to go chase something.
Ma'am, this question is for him.
Okay. All right. And you like think of like Astroworld. When you listen to that, that's a whole different listening experience. And the fact that you get a euphoric feel, you get the range, you get a mixture of everything. And obviously the features do a good job of really making it a masterpiece. Like I feel like you have the talent to keep making masterpieces. I hate you.
No one word can describe the sweet, tangy, zesty fusion of Zaxby's Asian Sensation Link. So I made one up. Sensation.
That is not a word.
That's a word. You heard the lady. The Asian Sensation Link. Who's got the sauce?
At first, they might look like ordinary glasses. But the moment you wear them, everything changes.
It's you because you're not doing it. You're wasting your time. You could be really like that. And I'm just looking at you man to man right now. That's the only reason why I asked
To be honest, you said a bunch of you beat around the question that I asked.
you. Okay.
You just beat around the question because when you say intent about creativity, blah 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 blah. My intention of the album you said was fun, but you tried to downplay it because you probably grew up watching it your whole entire life. You probably ate cereal and changed your diaper watching it. So that's all you know me for. But I made a whole album on streaming. Nobody ever did that. That's creativity.
Max is only passing.
Okay, that's cool.
Max is only passing.
You can say that.
And that's crazy to me because that's what I'm saying. When I was in diapers,
Okay.
I'm listening.
Name 5 Max songs right now.
All right, bet. 7. Yeah, obviously, you gotta go with that. I'll put your music in there.
Exactly,
I'll
nigga.
put your music
Exactly,
in there.
nigga. Next, come on. Come on. Go ahead.
I mean, like, you know, like, I don't know you personally, like, but, like, when it comes to your come up and the way you did it, I do respect it, but I definitely feel like there were steps where, like, I just was disappointed where, like, you,
Don't say
instead
nothing. Don't say nothing that you know I don't want to hear.
I know, but I'm trying to say, instead of, like, going to, because you was rapping about India for a long time, like, she was throwing her props, her, she bad, whatever, in your older songs, and then once you like had her, you put her on this like who's my ball instead of like capitalizing on the content of like just y'all two that y'all put it together instead of pitting her as like the villain in front of the rest of these girls, and it was like a weird vibe that I got, and I wasn't with it, and that just made me see you in a different light because you put her in that type of spot where y'all could have did something else with it, and then again you could have pivoted to something else with. You could have gone into that dad content. You could have got more brand deals with like diapers, wipes, whatever. You could have daycares. What's his name? Blippi. He gets hella money for like going to like the play places and doing that and doing this with their kids. You know, like you could have tapped into a different industry when you became a dad. You know what I'm saying? So I was like expecting that from you, and more of like a respectable like or like a respectable man when it comes to that type of stuff. Like I was expecting you to grow with your audience as you grew. You know what I'm saying? But you kind of just stayed in the same area streamer wise. But I also wouldn't want more music from you. But you stayed into the weird streamer realm. And it's not all weird, you know what I'm saying? But there are better things, you know, and I did prefer your music over you streaming, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just disappointed more than I hate you. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to see more things from you that put you in a cool, respectable light that would make me like you more. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like you less.
I can tell you're nervous.
I ain't a little nervous. I don't like hating on people publicly.
No, it's fine. Just be able to say, I don't like hating on people publicly. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. Listen, so I ain't even gonna press up on you because I can tell you're nervous.
You can later after I get a little.
Nah, it's cool. It's fine.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay. I'll be honest. I don't know what the you was talking about. Like everything you said was like very confusing.
I thought
There's a lot of yap. You said I was rapping about India, and then what did you say?
And then once you start actually being around her, you put her in a competition or belittling light in front of other women in the Who's My Ball rather than making another song referencing her and then capitalizing on that and being like, yeah, I was rapping about this bad, so now I got her, you know, but instead you put her pitted against the rest of these women and kind of use them in a negative light instead of bringing those women up, especially since you was rapping about her and now she around you.
Did you watch the show?
I did a little bit. I saw clips.
Exactly. Yes.
Some people, I don't really know you like that, but I will say I do not like the way you dress. Like, you could really step that up for sure. And I feel like you could have a lot healthier hair. Like, there's a lot of products that can help you with that for sure. That's basically it.
What?
Style. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
And I also don't like your music.
Okay.
Yeah, but
But you just said you don't know me though. So how can you like or not like my music?
Because I've listened to it, and
What
I
you
listened
listen
to like two songs.
Who else too?
Shit, I can't remember the name.
So he referenced Big Dreads or whatever you listen to.
I know. And there was one with Pally on it that I listened to too. But I didn't like him.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like your flow. It could be a lot better.
What you do for a living?
I'm a model, actor, singer, songwriter, dancer, and I'm a college student.
Okay. How many records you sold?
I more so do modeling and acting, so I'm more established in that.
You on Vogue? What type of modeling you do?
No, I be in music videos. I've been in like a couple magazines. Been in a lot of runway shows, about like 8.
In the 8 music videos.
No, 8 runway shows, like the bigger ones.
Okay. What's the brand name?
Stability is mind, body, and spirit as one.
For the brands that I was representing,
Yep.
There's Cotton Candy. There's can't remember the people that was at the one with Nick Cannon.
Oh, that's your name drop.
Huh?
That's your name drop.
Well, that was the one, like the very first one I was in, and I can't really remember the people that was in that one, but that one was like the biggest one for sure.
Type.
You on Peacock?
Oh yeah, on Peacock, on.
Okay. Woo! That's what's up. Why should I care about your criticism? If you light years,
I mean,
light
like
years away.
a lot of people feel like the same way. I mean, like your outfit really could be better, and like your
You don't like Nigerians?
Huh?
I'm Nigerian. You don't like Nigerians? You got a problem with Nigerians?
I'm part Nigerian, so
So
it's not an
your
excuse.
daddy in there wore nothing like this. So you don't like their daddy outfits? Every time?
Nah,
It's not even
the
that
females
cold.
look better in their outfits. It could be styled better. Like there's a lot more you can do with it.
Well, I never knew style was wearing a knee brace. To be honest, like
I have a crush. I'm injured.
I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that.
I thought that was obvious with the knee brace.
Okay, that's good. That's fine.
It's black. It matches her fit. Damn.
From what I'm hearing, the only person that has an honest, real hate or distinction, however you say the word, is him. He's the only one that has an actual, real reason. You is here. You don't even know why you're here. You don't know why you're here. You don't know what you literally scroll on TikTok. Don't know nothing. You, one of my biggest fans. You here to promote your music. So I'm already knowing, like, this is the thing. That's why I'm glad I did this, because y'all don't really hate you. That's cool. I want you to. That's fine. That's fine. I don't give a I want y'all to know.
Late 2 minutes until 5:30. Came down after this dude, like, 20 minutes late.
I can't go.
Nah, if I'm reading, I'm like, nah, whatever.
You're right. Let me talk.
This fool came down here 20 minutes late. This fool acting like he better than everybody. Like, we know you from Pioneer, from the hood. You from the hood too. You still come down here. I'm 20 minutes late eating his food. He roasting it. Talk about we hate him. I don't know. This fool probably don't like your music though, but I don't know. Well, I'm saying this though. 20 minutes late. Don't give cameraman on his phone. He don't even know what the fuck he doing. He just chilling. The homie over there don't even know what's going on. He on his phone. Your production team. Look, you got us. You got me. Still talking about putting my music. I was trying to chop freestyle. Not hating. It was not hating. I didn't know it was a hating thing. But I'm trying to see something like let's go on the beat. I'll speak Spanish. I'll freestyle on the beat. I'm whack. People tell me I'm whack. But this fool was 20 minutes late, so now I'm hot because that shit is disrespectful because he got this right here. He rich. He got his thing going on. We just got off the shit. We doing our thing. He flaking. We don't give a feel me. He like 20 minutes late. He got his food right there. Nigerian king. I feel it. That's it. I'm just that's what it is right there. That's it. I mean, I ain't with you. I want to see you, but you still ain't living in I'm crazy. You crazy, bro. You was late, bro. Hey, we say that. I'm from country, bro. I don't give a real. I said it is what it is. You can feel how you feel. I'm from Compton. My Compton people gonna vouch for me. He laughing because he know it's right. At the end of the day, bro, look, check me out. That's it. That's all I gotta say, bro. That's it right there. And that's it, bro. That's all I gotta say. It's like that. It's like that. My music career, bro. My ad, Drew_Spill. That's my ad.
You got canceled.
Cancel.
Yep.
Hey, you can't cancel a real. You can't cancel a real because at the end of the day, bro, we come from Compton, bro. And at the end of the day, I grew up in Compton, bro. Just like anybody else from the hood. My people gonna vouch for me from LA. I don't care what he talking about. I don't do. What you talking about? But you was late. You was late, and we was here on time, bro. You don't give up. Exactly, bro. Yo, shit. Bro, he got nothing to talk about. And I hate, bro, but that's something to feel bad about because you don't give a fuck about us what we talking about. Bro, they didn't have no water down there for us. He like sitting in the garage, y'all good. Y'all late, chilling, man. And it's, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Who else want to talk?
He was like,
Hey, can I get him the beatbox? He said he want to rap.
bro, I'm telling you, man.
Come on, man.
This your time?
Hey, this your time. Let's go. You already said enough. Let's go. Give me a little.
Your connections to the past are waiting. Get Ancestry DNA for only $29.
Oh, I can build it. Oh, he said he don't need the guitar. He said he need to get the guitar.
Bro, guitar. Go get your guitar.
That's what I like to see. See? I knew you had it.
You got the guitar, bro.
Hey, you want me to hold the mic up too? All right, ready?
Este güey no sabe qué rollo conmigo. Yo me pongo bien activo. Y no sabe lo que estoy haciendo. Me vale bien verga, mexicanos aquí rifan. Por ellos me nací. Por ellos me morí. Este güey piensa porque tiene dinero es más mejor que mi nunca va a ser más mejor que uno mexicano. Aquí rolamos algo. Aquí se dormió y me vale verga. Yo solo vine para poner mi nombre en alto y todos los mexicanos aquí van a estar. Me vale madre si le gusta este juego, ¿no? Y a quien le está dejando, me vale ver que este está dormido, pero así al millón. La raza que va a rifar, desde Compton, Joe_Spill, no lo odio a este güey, nomás vine para poner mi nombre en alto, lo que es, y al rato vamos a estar allá arriba para que se burle este güey. La neta, mi raza, que andamos al 100. Para que se burle, porque se está burlando.
Gracias.
Así se hace, a la vez.
Gracias.
Así te das un That's how we
I mean, I don't listen.
They can translate it won't be the future. And that's what it is. I said everything I had to say on there.
I don't listen to. I don't know Spanish. I don't listen to.
That's why I said take a translate out.
You don't let me talk, bro. I don't know Spanish, but something decent. I don't know what the hell he said, but he sounded like. Yeah, I don't know what the intent was.
You know what I'm saying?
You started making freestyle. Come on, you said you're an artist.
Freestyle. No, I don't freestyle. See intent.
Oh, because you ass.
Yeah. Oh, because I'm ass?
Ass.
Okay.
Play something.
You want to play something? Yeah. What you want? Release.
I don't know you, so everything's on the Yeah, I don't know nothing.
Let's see. Talk about hip hop. No.
Play some bullshit.
Hey, I'm gonna play some. Because listen, I ain't rap like that. I listen. I sing a little bit.
Play your best. Because of your ass, nothing you say to me is anything. Okay? Play it. You said hyper pop.
Hey, bro. Don't listen to you, see it. All right, man. I'll play somebody just drop.
a glass of water before bed. Did you know that breathing problems...
Do you know there's a 2-ingredient recipe that's threatening Big Pharma's billion-dollar profits because it can fight dementia in just a few weeks?
My God. What? The Daria DY9Z, a striker fire 9mm fire.
No, listen. I'll tell you right now. I don't.
Oh yeah, that one. And this is what it's like for men right now getting dating advice on the internet. Let's take a look.
How to make music. Because honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It's hard. You play guitar and song is different.
Let me tell you the trick to talking to girls. You go outside your house. What? You do go outside and they don't swarm you? Huh. I've never heard that happening before. Have you checked your DMs? Nothing. That's weird. Well, next time you go out to a bar, find the hottest girl in there, walk up to her and say, hey, trust me, works every time.
So this is this is going to kind of be the theme tonight because we have a bunch of videos. Can you actually put the Gary Vaynerchuk up real quick? Yeah. A bunch of videos we're going to show tonight that are just kind of indicative of how fucking terrible dating advice is for men. Not for men who are 6'4" chads who are rich. Their dating advice is accurate. It is for all the rest of them. They're all the rest of the guys. We're gonna Tristan and I are gonna make a video on this. We're basically gonna go over shout out to Chris and all the Black Pill guys. Oh boy, we're gonna make some videos basically going over really average looking broke guys who get beautiful women. We're gonna give you hundreds of examples where this happens, and because that's where the problem is that those women are insecure. That's what it is. These are unhealed women.
You mean I don't need jaws or size?
Yeah. Look, hey, I'm a Chad. I'm a Chad now.
By the way, whoever invented that, genius.
Yes. So we're gonna go over that concept. I mean, Black Pill is not the reason why people are there today. So the issue with this that we want. No, but see, the thing about Clavicular is he's 19. Like I think, and he also did a video. I don't know if you saw this. He did a video where somebody was showing him how status can get him attention from women, and he was like blown away at the end. He goes, "Okay, I'm not going here. Status. It's just a function where he's 19. He just doesn't know all the things that are out there. But obviously, status works. We're going to go over like all kinds of archetypes, going from the guy who's the busser who dates the cocktail waitress, all the way to like the college professor who ends up dating the student. All those kind of things. That's where the average broke, the male nurse.
It might be microdosing that too.
Who?
He
does that?
Yeah, Matt says, yeah, microdoses Matt. Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
A killer's appetite is stay lean. Oh, that's okay. Then that makes it all worth it. I understand. Doesn't everyone do this? Why do I feel like some bureau? Why do I feel judged right now? I swear. Hey, those guys like the rest of us. Yeah, get ready.
Well, I can't get a girl. You sure can. Ask out every girl you see in the world. One will say yes.
Excuse me, sorry. Would you like to be my girlfriend? Would you be my girlfriend? You guys are lovely today, by the way. Would either of you like to be my girlfriend? Would you be my girlfriend?
No.
Why not?
How old are you?
Are you sure you would want to be my girlfriend?
Possibly, brother.
I love you, Naves. Would you be my girlfriend? No? I'm desperate. Would you be my girlfriend? You're good. Would you be my girlfriend? Alright. Would you be my girlfriend? You would? Every day we go out to the summer.
They're not saying
Are you open to being hit on right now? Like that was an actual thing. I'm like, you see this one right here? We're gonna play this over. I didn't mean to do these in this order, but I think it's kind of you'll see the point.
I was single, here's exactly what I would do. I would do 3 photo shoots. I would have 10 different outfits split among those 3 days.
I would get in the best shape of my life in the next 90 days and follow an exact meal plan and program. I would learn how to message. I would study between ChatGPT on how to message women. I would get comfortable in front of a camera so I could start sending video messages and stand out from everyone else on Hinge. I would use Hinge, Facebook Dating, Bumble, and Tinder. I would send 50 to 100 messages on each of those apps within an hour and a half a day. It's really not that hard. I would literally block out everything. An hour and a half. I would send as many as I can on each app. I would get the paid version of all of them, right? And then I would set up 4 high-quality dates a week with girls that are willing to come to me, willing to go to the type of restaurant that I like to go to set up that structure for the relationship to make sure she's into the things that I like, and letting her know that the second date is going to be the gym or something in fitness to make sure that it's a girl that aligns with my habits. So again, I would get in the best shape of my life. I would send the messages needed. I would get comfortable in front of the camera. I would have date spots lined up, and then I would go on dates until I found one that was compatible to me. And each date would be a practice to get better for the next one, to make sure I am my best self, not acting, to make sure I'm my best self until I find the girl that was really into me and liked me a lot. And when I found that woman, I would like her a lot and make it a relationship. On my ebook on Game of Friends, the comment.
See, I'm marketing. What did I say? What do you think? No, let's be honest here. What do you think is actually going on here? Kind of moving on.
So,
No, that's fine. But he has
the smell from it.
That's part of it. What he thinks attractive women are after. Okay, that's another big issue. But there's a few more. What do you think? He needs a job. Okay. Let me ask you something. Was he an ugly guy? You thought he was ugly? What, just physically, did he look like a skinny guy? Did he look like he goes to the gym? He looked like he goes to the gym, right? Because he had a lot of tattoos, right? He looked like he was pretty tall.
Yeah, boy.
Just follow me on this. What do you think? So there were two things I wanted you to say, and you said one of them, which is clearly he's not doing this in real life because he understands those things. September, what do you think's going on there? Yes.
I think the way he approached the is I think he's understanding what I'm doing, understanding the thing.
Yes, so ding, 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 she got the other thing right, which is he is not, he's a better than average looking guy. Like, maybe he's not a gorgeous dude, but women are going to go out with him on a regular basis. Whereas when we're dealing with Sandeep from India, who just moved here, he's a second generation Indian guy who's 5'3", and he goes off and he does all the shit that this guy says. It won't work for him. It won't. And then the other thing we saw is you ask every girl you say, "Would you be my girlfriend? Would you be my girlfriend?" Where does that come from? Why is Gary Vaynerchuk saying that? Why is that? Anybody? Why is Gary Vaynerchuk saying something like that? Just go to every girl you see and ask them to be your girlfriend. Yeah. I think. Let me ask this question differently. Obviously, what you're saying is absurd. I'm asking you, why does he think that's true? Does anybody have a guess? It worked for him in the past. So, okay, cool. So what's happened is Gary Vaynerchuk he does marketing. Everyone knows Gary Vaynerchuk is like he's pre-Grant Cardone. He's pre-everyone. He's like maybe a little even before Tyler. Like he's the originator. And the guy's got 10 million followers. And so for him, he's constantly, even though you hundreds of women in his DMs all the time. So in his mind, that's what the world looks like. I have to. Gary Vaynerchuk ended up marrying his for a long time, and then for the new wife right now, who is infinitely hotter. Yes. And it worked for him. Yeah, it worked for him, and it was like much younger, and essentially he just traded up for a trophy wife once he had millions of dollars. Yes, millions of dollars, and then now, and then date someone that's worse. Like, you understand? Like, that's like, so what does that say? So he's married for a while. What is this thing like? Again, I like, like we got.
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house, no matter what condition it's in. If you need to sell your house for any reason, I'm going to this video to see if my offer is right for you. process of selling your house easy and simple. No commissions, no fees. We'll buy your house in as-is condition, and you pick the closing date. No appraisals, no repairs, no hassles. Offers are completely confidential, and there is no obligation whatsoever. Click the link in this video and fill out a short survey so we can make you a cash offer. If you're struggling to sell your house, this is the fastest and easiest way to get money into your pocket ASAP. And yes, we will really buy your home in any condition. We've dealt with it all. Click the link now to see how much cash you can get for your house today. Best case scenario, you get rid of a huge pain in your butt in record time. Changing your pocket. What do you have to lose? Click the link and answer a few questions to get your cash offer now.
Well, she sucks. Agree with that. But the original question I'm asking is, why does he think that advice is acceptable? And let's go back to one other thing. The thing with Steven Crowder, the thing with Ben Shapiro, the thing with Matt Walsh. What is the issue that these guys have? Is that they're married, trying to tell single guys how to deal with women in 2025. And no offense, because I'm a big fan of PBD. I listen to PBD and Adam Sosnick go at each other, talking about it, and Adam is 100% correct. And Patrick has been married so long that he doesn't understand that the game is complete. It is the difference between a horse and buggy and a Ferrari. Like, that's the difference now. And they don't grasp it. You can grab that ball here. Read the book called The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt, where he goes over what happens to women after 1995 and men to a certain extent, but more. When women just need to be yourself. Or just the lack of like well, that's funny you said. This is a really good comment here because all these sales and marketing guys think that everything is just about maximizing the economy of scale, reach, casting, and big spend. And you're going to take those business, the things that work for funnel marketing are not necessarily always going to work in sexual economy. So there's one other reason why those last three things we saw, why they exist, and it's because it's one three things. So the guy was like, just go outside. Those three videos. The second one, and the third one, the guy who just every day now. And he actually, out of all of them, he did not give the worst advice. Speaking on camera and getting in shape, that is great. That is great advice. But the main thing, anyway, we'll go back to the this is a. Well, I was going to say, I just want to tag something on there that it's like the problem I have with PvP is not that it would be one thing if all it was about was him being sort of disconnected from the sexual marketplace right now, but it's not. He gets self-righteous about the whole damn thing, and the whole thing. So, well, Adam, you're not, meeting the right girls in the right places. You're going and meeting these ratchet hoes down in, in what it's movie trap. And I'm going out with that. Again, the reason why is because Patrick had his party. He used to live here in Las Vegas, right? He used to have, and he's comparing his party days when he was single to what the incredible technological advancements of what we have to deal with now. No woman that he spoke to 20 years ago had anywhere near the stimulus that was provided to them that the women do today. And so that's the reason why this is just so incredibly different. Well, I got to read, Aaron Clary decided to give us a $10 super chat. He says, Mike, make sure old man Rollo gets his pudding before bedtime. He gets Rollo can barely make it. Thanks a lot. It's a good sleep by now. Yes. Oh, I remember my point. My point was this. There's one reason why, there's sort of a glass ceiling when it comes to my content in general, and that is I have never said things that people want. I only tell the truth. I say things, so I go look at the data, I look at the experience, I look at anecdotal experience, scientific experience, etc. I put it together, and then I give you guys an honest opinion. Often, my opinion is we're hairless murder apes. We're only interested in status initially, like things that people don't want to hear. You hear what Gary Vaynerchuk said? He said something people want to hear. Go on, and that other guy, go on dating apps. Just go up and talk to girls. This is what people want to do. But what happens? We have another video. I'll show it to you guys a little bit. But this guy's like, this gay guy, and he talks to all the straight female friends. And he goes, hey, what? He goes, what do all the women want? And then he goes, women all want men to come up and approach them, and at the same time, women all think that men who come up and approach them are creepy. And it's like, have fun with that. That's what you're getting. Now, what women want is really good-looking guys to come approach them, and not the rest of them. And what they consider to be good-looking has been more. Just like what happens to a guy who watches a lot of pornography, his belief of what women will do and what they look like changes when women are constantly looking at dating apps and social media. What she believes a man will do also changes, unless you're kind of with me, which is probably real. Exactly. Just read your mind. So it works on that. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I love this. Okay, guys, this one's really important. I wish we could get the comments on a lot of these, but I want you guys to watch this. I use this on my Sunday show.
It's called the third date run-in. So I'll get randomly contacted. This happened about a week ago, where a guy will tell me, "Hey, I met this great girl on a dating app. I can tell she still has some walls up. I need you to do a run-in." So a run-in it's a very popular service, and believe it or not, people still can't tell when I'm doing it for real. So I'll give you the example of this client like a week ago. He was at a restaurant in Upper East Side, and I run into him, and I'm like, "Robert, oh my God, it's been how long has it been since we've seen each other? You look amazing. You grew a beard and everything since I've seen you. No way. Have you been like working out?" And then I turn to the girl, and I'm like, "I'm so sorry, I'm being so rude. I just haven't seen him in so long, and he is the greatest." And I say hi to her, and I'm really nice, and then I always leave with saying like, "Hey, we've got to catch up, so just call me this week, and you guys have fun tonight."
I'm
and I leave.
Stunned by
I've done it at the gym. I do it everywhere you could possibly.
Okay, real quick. My first question, before I get your reaction, is: do you think what she said would actually work? Raise your hand if you think it would work. Anybody here would not think it would work? That would not work? You don't think so? No. Interesting. Okay, and then the other thing I'm going to ask you is, what do you think the reactions in the comments was? Anybody? There were 2 reactions. Crazy woman. What else? Okay. So I wish we could read the reactions, because I thought that was the most telling part. There were 2 reactions. Reaction 1 was, "This would never work on me. You're so mature. This would only work on unhealed women, where they would get jealous because another guy was talking to their man." And then at the same time, there was another group of people, actually probably the same group of people, like, "This is toxic. Why would you need to do this in order to get attraction from women?" Hold on, bitch. It either doesn't work or it does. It can't be both. It can't be toxic. If it's toxic, I mean, you're saying toxic is not great, but it means it works. Or it doesn't work. It's one or the other. For the 2 of you who don't believe it works, I got that issue. It absolutely does work. Right. But like for men, I know. I just listen. Not that I've ever had anyone do this for me before, like 50, 60 fucking times. In a previous life, Kindly has probably hooked me up with so many girls doing exactly what she said. So whether or not it works is not debatable. Now, it's funny because I heard Fit Experiment. He was the first guy to comment on that. He goes, "You should." No, it wasn't Fit Experiment. It was Lafarge. He was the first guy to comment on that. He said, this shows that you care too much about what women think. You shouldn't be doing this. And the thing is, he's not wrong in that case. What he's saying is you shouldn't be paying someone to do this. And I agree. I kind of agree. You should make up female friends and act. That is my recourse. That's my responsibility. Yes. Yes. Because I would never tell a female friend to wing me. I would never tell her. I got time for that. Never. Ain't nobody got time for that. The problem is, Blue, I can't think of a single time it works every time. And the reason why is because it's not a conscious reaction. It's one of these things where if I come up to you and I'm a stranger, you have all these like beliefs. I'm sure you get hit on by guys all the time. And in your mind, you're like, another creepy dude, another creepy dude, another creepy dude. Like, leave me alone. Too many creepy dudes, another creepy dude. And then some guy walks up and she's with her and another couple of girls are like, "Hey, we're doing an animal rescue tomorrow. Would you like to come?" That's a very different approach than what you might be used to at the gym, where some guy is like sitting there staring at the butt. You understand? Yeah. Okay. average guy.
In this instance, I would call it soft gravity.
Sure.
It creates anxiety, but it's so there's two kinds of them.
Anyone who is more than 20 pounds overweight, doctors will say is pretty much a food addict. And the truth is, most health folks and trainers will only give 3 choices. First, strict diet, cutting out carbs, giving up the foods people love, some of the best things in life, just to sit around feeling hungry and weak. A little weight might come off, but most of the time it comes right back. Second, crazy workout. Hours at the gym that wear a person down, steal their energy, and leave them sore and unmotivated. And third, the so-called miracle drug, Ozempic. It costs around $600 to $1,000 every month. On top of that, the side effects often make people feel sick all the time. And the moment they stop, the weight piles right back on. But what if there's another way? One where favorite foods don't have to be given up. No one has to live at the gym. And it's simpler than most things. It all comes down to one small tweak with your water. It's not about drinking more, it's about how you drink it. And when you do this simple little water hack, your body flips into fat burning mode, your energy comes rushing back, and you start feeling like yourself again, just the way you were meant to. Have you heard about this 66-year-old woman? At the start of the year, she was wearing size 20 plus clothes. She was always tired and could barely move because of all that extra weight. But now, look at her. She looks amazing. And she did it without going on some crazy diet, without spending hours on the treadmill, and without taking them Ozempic shots that made her sick and took away her favorite food. What changed? She started a simple little ice water trick first thing each morning. Nothing extreme, just something that flips her metabolism, and the weight just started falling off. Now, before anybody says too good to be true, I'm just going to her blog where she breaks down exactly how she did it. I linked it right here. Just tap that learn more button. But let me warn you, her story is pretty bad. If you don't really like being in the spotlight, she might take it down any day now. If you're interested, you best check it out right away.
Two kinds of dread. There's overt dread, which is man, which is do what I want you, or I'm gonna go down. There's a lot of girls that really want me. I'm gonna go down to the bar here and pick up anyone. If you're not, you don't do what I say. Like that. Like I'm the shit. Like you're trying to like create your own value, right? That comes off as fake. It comes off as trying hard. But then there's passive dread, which is exactly what you guys have been doing. Maybe you don't know what you're doing, but that's essentially it's called pre-selection. It's having a third party reconfirm your value with like unsolicited. By the way, this effect is not quite as strong, but you can actually do it with men too. I've had situations where I've been on a date and a bunch of guys who are fans will
Justin
come up
and Sterling
they'll just come up and start talking.
Sorry to sell you guys out.
Yeah, they'll start saying, "Can I take a picture with you?" And I can just tell discernibly the girl's like, "Who the fuck is this guy that they want to take a picture with?" It's super weird what happens. And the best part is the guy walks up to me, hands the girl the camera, and is like, "Can you take a picture of us together?" And she's like, "Yo, what?" And at first it's like the audacity, but then later on it's like in comparison to every other creepy dude asking you to see Bob's and Vagine. Every other creepy dude, how less creepy is this? He's got something going on. So that's the thing. I don't want to debate whether or not what she's saying is ethical. You may say it is, maybe it isn't because they're paying her. I don't want to debate whether or not you think it's effective. It's 100% effective. If you don't believe it is, thank God, because I'm going out of business I'm going to make $50 million. If you think that what she's saying is the truth, and that means you're going to teach people the wrong thing, and I'm just going to keep having clients forever. There are guys who don't think this. Yeah, absolutely. There's tons of guys. And you know who they are? They're good-looking guys. Super good-looking guys don't believe in that. They don't, because they don't have to do that. Because they believe they earned it. Correct. Yeah, exactly. So they actually don't. They aren't even aware that they have an advantage for being good looking. They actually think they're good. We have a great the James Harden video. Yeah. Okay. Can we play that? I'm going to show you an example. James Harden's a little different. He's 6'5", shooting guard. He's probably worth $500 million. I just want you to look. So
I've seen her a couple times and look at her Instagram, and I asked one of my homegirls, give me a number.
He called my phone like 5 times at 8 o'clock in the morning. I didn't even know he had my number. I didn't know who gave him my number. I didn't know what was going on.
She don't know who I am, what's going on, none of that.
So then he FaceTimes me.
She's so weird, she answered the FaceTime. Weird.
Hey, it's you again, huh?
talk louder than that. The first time I play that game, like, I gotta put words together to make sense to me, like stunned.
James is not having any game at all.
There's another word if you're not an NBA player for this. It's called harassment. just so
How he calls her weird, but then is calling her person, which she doesn't know.
hold on. Let's go back to the original theme. He thinks he has a game. He's not kidding. He thinks that he was born on third base and thought he had a triple. James Harden is a walk-in first ballot Hall of Famer in the NBA Hall of Fame, and he's worth $125 million. And then so for him he called the girl 5-6 times. Her friends were like, "Bitch, you better pick up the phone. That's James Harden. Are you out of your mind? Pick up the phone." That's what happened. And so from his standpoint, the rest of do you guys see how damaging this is when someone not that attractive then sees this and starts calling you at 8 o'clock in the morning 5 times? Do you see how crazy James Harden is? But yeah, exactly. You better be worth $125 million. Exactly. But do you guys understand? So that's kind of the theme of this show. It's like how the general population, dating coaches, matchmakers, pop psychologists, pickup artists, black pill people, all these individuals, they're just giving horrible dating advice that don't work for 80% of men, and then they think it does. Women don't. Guys, again, I don't know what it's like to date as a woman. So the women are sitting there giving advice. That one girl, what's her name? The one who goes on Chris Williamson all the time with the black hair, who gives terrible advice. I can't remember her name.
Sadia Khan?
No. Sorry. Yeah, but it's like it's such time out. It's such ineffective advice that I see these people do, and then the response is always to me. It's one of two things: either Michael, the stuff you teach wouldn't work, or Michael, the stuff you teach is immature. It's so toxic. I can't believe you're manipulating people. Hold on, bitch. It's either one or the other. It either works or it doesn't work. It can't be both. And so that's the issue. That's the thing that I've seen most recently is just this plethora of horrible dating advice. And why does it get through? Why does it pass through the filter? It's because it's what people want to believe. People want to believe a movie like Hitch is real. Hitch is a movie about sexual harassment. If you guys don't understand, Hitch is a terrifying movie about dudes who are obsessed with one woman and one guy's teaching them to go ahead and manifest their obsession. That is sexual harassment. That's what it is. But in reality, there's one guy in the movie, I don't know if you remember, he's like, yeah, I just want to sleep with a bunch of women. And Will Smith was about to punch him in the face. That's the only guy who got it. That's the only guy who actually understood. Being attracted to women in general is the secret. It's not finding one woman and then just, when you're not attracted to women and then just obsessing over her. But when you do find a woman who reciprocates your feelings, then you can reciprocate back. But not before, not until they show you some interest. Now, I remember the other day, we were watching Californication, and the whole time we were watching the show, we were like, this show would never be done. You guys will notice it's very hard to find the show Californication anywhere because the show is what I would like to call factually accurate. Like that's exactly like David Duchovny was basically he's a sex addict playing a sex addict. He's Charlie Sheen. Basically he's Charlie Sheen 1.0. Basically he's a sex addict playing a sex addict. He's funny as shit during the whole show, and every episode he's just banging a different chick. And then after a while the show got canceled. Why did it get canceled? Because he just didn't like the idea of what he was doing, because even though it was effective. So that was the issue there. Anyway, so that was I wanted to show you that. I don't know what you thought about that whole third day run in. Do you think that would work? Well, actually, before you met me, do you think that would work?
Oh yeah, because all I did, like I said before, I've been writing about I kind of break it down into psychology. So it's like, for lack of a better term, you can call it red for a long time, and that's just because it's about like urgency. It's about immediacy. It's about like establishing that. Well, I mean, so one of the things that I break down in my books is when we talk about pre-selection, we talk about social proof. It's one thing if you have other people that are verifying that for you, like Dicks and Troy, like people come up to me and say, "Oh, can I take a selfie with you? Hey, now that I got you, can I tell you about my problems?" You know, that kind of stuff. That's one thing. But if it's unsolicited, if you try to manufacture it yourself, that's when you come up as being creepy.
Yeah. No. You can try to manufacture it. She just Yes. Yeah.
Doing it on the
It has to
third
be
date.
yes.
Right? And so like doing it on the third date is kind of like
Listen, she's the one who called it she called it the sex date. I really should not be saying this out loud. But here's the thing. I've guys that ask me so many times, like, Michael, don't you think it's showing too much interest if I send an Uber to go pick up a girl for like the first date? I was like, if you send an Uber to pick up a girl on the first date, that does show a little bit of interest. But what's even better is at the end of the day, when she doesn't like you, where you go on and you call an Uber to get rid of her. That's when you're paying money to get rid of a girl, you'd be shocked because the second date, all of a sudden she's very, very agreeable, loves being around you. Why? Because she recognizes for the first time she's dating a man who actually values his time and doesn't spend all of his time simping over women. And it's so rare to find that. Whenever I do, we played this a while ago. Do you remember the small forward for the Celtics? What's his name? He won the NBA championship. I can't remember his name. He was on some show and he was talking about, hey, if your wife went on with Chris Brown and started taking a bunch of photos with Chris Brown was grabbing her ass, what would you do? He goes, well, like I'm a public figure. If my wife did that, it'd be over. We would just get a divorce. That would be the end of the relationship. He goes, but Pookie and Ray Ray down the street?
I used to think I just needed to lose weight, but what I really needed was to feel like myself again. Drinking ice water every morning didn't work for me, but it wasn't until I went from 197 to 143 that I figured out why. I was doing everything right. I just needed to do this tiny tweak to my routine. So this is the simple method that has helped me drop it since October 2024. This strange but simple ice water hack has been viewed 1.5 million times because it's helping thousands of people melt up to 2 pounds every day. I've been keeping quiet about it for a while because I want to.
They need to be like, oh, you go, girl, you did that. You met Chris Brown. Good job. Because it's true. 90, not 99, but like 85% of men, they are lucky. If their wife cheats on them, they have to tolerate it. This is why 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by men. I'm just trying to explain to you guys right now, like, the idea after, if you don't believe me, I want you to think about how much more money Pierce Morgan has than you. And just take a second right now, and I want you to think about how much more famous Pierce Morgan is than you are. I want you to think about how much more money Pierce Morgan has than you do. And Pierce Morgan's wife cuffs him, repeatedly cuffs him. And by the way, I hope if he hears this, he's not offended by it, because your wife is doing this on Instagram, openly talking about having sex with other men. So this idea, like, that's why I keep trying to explain to you guys, if you can show any boundaries, just remember what I said before, 4,000 downloads on Spotify puts you in the top 5%. If you can show any boundaries with women so far at all, in comparison to every other guy out there, you look like the Holy Spirit. They're like, oh, they can't believe like a man actually has boundaries and isn't like respects his own time. It's what I said before. The group of men that are above status poverty has never been a smaller percentage, but it's never been easier to get into it because of the bad advice pulling you out of it. Makes sense? Be more vulnerable. I'm going to be vulnerable to people who I care about. I'll be vulnerable to Kindly or Harper. I'll be vulnerable to Tristan or Rolo because I've known them for a while. They earned my vulnerability. That word earned. Let's use that more, men. Earned my vulnerability. Earned my affection. Earned my intent. Instead, what do? We give it away for $3.99 a month on OnlyFans. That's what we do. We give it away. We go to the strip club and we throw our intent in $20 bills on the woman because she has a fat ass. Let's use that word. Let's write that down. Put it on your forehead, on your hand. Earn my intent. Earn my sexuality. Earn my horniness. Earn my loyalty. Earn my time. Earn my friendship. Earn my leadership. Let's let them earn it instead of going off and being vulnerable to people that we don't know, and stop listening to shitty advice. That's the other thing I want to bring.
Can we go back to the dress topic?
Yes.
First time I've had Marvel and Kylie show at the same time, and they've witnessed it. I want to hear it from their perspective because you guys are the ones who, allegedly manufactured it for me and Mike. So, allegedly. And it's crazy thinking it debated.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, and also on the third date, like it's not all. It's a trust level, right? Like you're a girl, like you trust your women. Obviously, like we're two women that would never put another woman in like a bad situation. So I'm not gonna have a friendship where I'm like sticking my neck out there for somebody who I don't already see value in, already would potentially see as a good figure in somebody else's life. But yeah, no, it works very much. But I mean, I'm also not just going to do that you know, not like no, like I actually do know that he's like he's a human being. He is like,
guys, for those of you if you're talking in code, she's talking about being a woman. She's talking about being a woman and how effective it is. There's not, in fact, I've gotten to the point where I don't think there's anything more. I have a couple of clients who are. I have one client. He told me he takes home about $1 million a month, and he was explaining to me. He's like, I'm tired of women trying to use me for money. And I was like, I told him exactly what to do. He did it one time. He found his girlfriend one time. What he did is he took a trip to Vegas. He had he rented a Sprinter van, and he told 4 stunning girls. He didn't hit on any of them. He said, "You guys are going to come with me to Vegas. I'm going to pay for everything." But he didn't actually pay for anything. He actually gave his credit card to his assistant. His assistant paid for it. No one saw any transaction. He took the girls to took them to Vegas from Arizona, and then went there. And each girl that he brought had the responsibility of bringing more girls. And one of those girls, he's now engaged. He did. I gave him this advice. He did it one time because why? Because these other attractive women vouched for him. It generated genuine attraction, not money attraction. Genuine attraction.
But it doesn't even need to be in person. It could be on Instagram.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's multiple studies from Oklahoma State, State University, the Royal Society, Southwest University, all showing that men pictured in photos with women in general are deemed to be more attractive. And it's not that the guy. I'm not talking about the dude with sunglasses on, snorting a bunch of coke with 2 bottles of tequila, putting his arm around women. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the guy who's in a nice suit, standing on a red carpet, raising money for animals, and with his female friends who seem to be happy to be around him. That's just more. Like, I don't know. I'm just all about it. But yeah, that's essentially what I'm talking about. And so, just coming to the recognition. Yeah, well, coming to the recognition that there is a way to solve this problem, and the problem is getting deeper. And by the way, this is only going in one direction. It's only you understand, guys. If you're annoyed now, all you guys are watching is 35, 40 years old. You're sick of going on dates with girls and they're stuck on their phone. It's only going one direction. More girls are going to be stuck on their phone more in the future. It's not going the other way. That's not going the other way. There's one thing anybody here who's watching this, you want to pass a piece of legislation you want to support ending smartphones in junior highs and high schools. They should be illegal. There should be a federal law making it completely illegal for children under the age of 16 to have any access to smartphones whatsoever. Dumb phones for sure. Maybe I can, check my son's location, and maybe we can text.
Yeah, yesterday, I think that was today.
Yeah.
Facebook is banned publicly, and the Facebook not allowed. The children stuff on them, massive.
Yeah.
But like,
that's great.
Like photos and stuff, and little girls like being like, "Oh, I'd be pretty if."
Yes.
And they're like 8 years old, 10 years old. So they immediately think that they're like unattractive because of this or that.
Okay, your brain is not formed until you're older. By the way, it's 23 for women and 25 for men. But women actually, their brains form earlier than men. This is a maturity thing that happens. In that understanding, you giving children this brain rot while they're going through puberty, you're ruining them for the rest of their lives. And the result is largest group of sexist men we've seen in almost recorded history, lowest marriage rate, higher divorce rate. The divorce rate is slightly decreasing, but that's because people aren't getting married. And then additionally, high levels of obesity. We're seeing all these problems. Why is it? It's because we've given these people under the age of 30. 1995 was a couple. People born after 1995. That was the issue where they started to see woke campuses. This guy wants to speak. We're going to throw vegetables at him, getting picked up, cancel speeches on. That used to never happen. Where does that happen? Why is that happening? Jonathan Haidt, I think, and the reason why I like Jonathan Haidt's books is Jonathan Haidt is a liberal talking about the conservative idea, which is the idea that you should be able to speak, you should not be offended, there should be more free play, more roughhousing. The word we used to call this bullying or hazing, like that kind of stuff. It makes you more of a robust human being. And when you don't have it, and when you don't have that, when you don't like, if you guys listen to like Rollo and Eric Clary go back at each other, it's hilarious. But it's like why it builds a stronger bond. It builds a strong. Yes.
Like the 8 and the 8.
So, that's funny. Is I've had people like because they'll watch me and Clary go at it. So we go at it and people go, "Do you hate him? Is there something wrong? Like, oh my gosh, there's friction between you."
Yeah. So it's we get that comment a lot. Yeah. From our point, humans will get this.
I didn't know that's a problem.
Yeah.
Beef.
we're not this up. So if I say what up, bitch, and give you a fist bump like this when we play basketball, like I pass you the ball, you hit a layup and I go, good job, motherfucker. Is that amazing? But if I text you, good job, motherfucker, it's like, yo, what is this guy hate me? But look, we're not designed to read the inflection or the subtext from text messages, and so because of that, we lose all of the translation, and we also get worse. We get more, for lack of a better word, uncalibrated and autistic because we're not having IRL communication, which is why part of the reason why we started the show. So we have 8 people over there. Yeah,
they're reading text messages.
Yes.
Oh, like, you're priceless. He's like, oh, I'm priceless. And like, one's ready to get angry and you.
Yeah.
And then the other read out and he's like ready to fight you. And I'm like,
The chat wants you to say make choice copying so they can drink.
Oh, make choice copying, David Bus, pre-selection. You guys can all drink it. That's all terrific stuff. Oh, there's
40% of men get 90% of the women on the dating apps.
Anyone who is more than 20 pounds overweight, doctors will say is pretty much a food addict. And the truth.
The reason that's such a problem is because we're guys. You bring a foreign here right now with a big butt or big boots, bro, I'll bend her over that table right there. I don't care. Now she thinks that she's on my level. I just did it because it was a random Tuesday and I got nothing to do. And so now she thinks that she's up this hierarchy, and I hate to put numbers to it, but this is the way that people understand it. She thinks she's here when most of the time the guy that does that would never actually date her. But because there's so much access to so many men and so many women on such a large scale, it creates this kind of dissonance between where people should be. It becomes dangerous as well because now you have girls that are probably not in the league of a guy like you. They think they're in that league because I got slept with her. Facts. But the truth of the matter is he just got nothing to do on a Tuesday night. Sorry. And now she won't give the normal guy a shot because she's been with the big boss. She's been with the successful guy. It's a bunch of bullshit.
Shout out to the NBA. Yes, shout out to Justin. Yeah, no, that's fine. Shout out to Justin Wall. So the reason why I love this video is because the complaint is what Justin, when someone says what Justin says, the response is, you're just an incel who's angry at women. No, I know Justin Waller. Women throw themselves at this dude like no one I've ever seen in my life. Crazy. Like I'll be sitting there and I'll have girls like literally come up and hand me a camera to take a picture of them with Justin. Justin is telling you the story from the other end of it, from the Chad standpoint, telling you that a girl will have sex with me and actually think she's on my level, and then she won't give a regular guy a chance. And so that's the thing. When other guys say it in the space, then there's like, oh, you're just some kind of misogynist. No, he's telling you that, just like when I tell you guys, if your girlfriend leads you to go on stage at the club, and she leads you down in the GA the whole night while she's dancing with the DJ, that's not going to work. I'm not telling you that because my girlfriend left me up there. I'm telling you that because I'm on stage. I'm watching your girlfriend cheat on you in front. I'm not jaded because I'm hurt. I'm jaded because I've seen the other side of it. I've seen women come here, want to go on dates with me, ask them, hey, are you in a relationship? Swear to God they're not in a relationship. Tell me they don't have an Instagram. Find their Instagram and see that they're engaged. It happens all the time. In fact, the girl, I just showed you a photo, that girl was engaged that night. That night she was engaged. It was in 2017. She was engaged. And it's just so crazy to me when I see this. I'm not telling you this out of bitterness. I'm warning you because I'm on the other end of it, telling you, yes, if your girl is on stage and if your girlfriend calls Diplo West, it's over. We're talking a 9,200 body count. If your girlfriend calls Skrillex Sonny, it's over. You're fucking done. If your girlfriend knows Dead Mouse and calls him Joel, it is focus on yourself, King. Because you have got no chance if that's the case. So that's why I'm not telling you guys this out of bitterness. I'm telling you this out of, like, it's just obvious from being on the other end of it, living here in Vegas, and seeing, like, what will happen if you put enough for shiny objects in front of a girl.
Unless there's a hall pass, though. Yeah. Like Halsey, right?
What was the hall pass?
Like, Halsey, come on. Hall pass.
Wait, but that's girl on girl hall pass.
Exactly.
But that doesn't count.
Okay, but that's like relationship, like in relationship dynamic.
Yeah, girls sleeping with girls, you actually lose a lot. You lose a body count. Yeah. So did you guys have? That's kind of a rule here. There are two rules. So if you slept with 80 guys and 80 girls, your body count is 0. You know that? Yeah. We're kind of negative number. Anybody got a negative number? We got one person with a negative number. And then the second rule, we have the rule of hindfoot. You BBL,
You get new body.
get
Like,
new body.
anyone who they have that.
That's why
I'm good again. Like, you didn't have any food that on like budget, and then you get like food. Being with you, like, you like, I love you right now.
So I was little.
Starts over at zero.
But wait,
You change your body at certain moments.
Wait,
Totally wonderful. I would follow it.
But now that I first became friends, she told me, she's like, if you get any procedure done, your body comes
I'm
back to
bringing it
zero.
back to Australia. That's nice. You changed my life now without that.
And I think there was one other rule, which is basically if you're not in the same zip code, or not, that doesn't count or something. I can't remember what it was. They were like, we have the most toxic rules. They want you to do it. They want you to touch it.
The chat's calling it a respawn.
That's exactly right. I'm telling you, it's kind of a rule. Not my rule, but I thought it was
I have to tell you Justin Muller's story. So Justin Muller and I was in like 2022. We were out in we were in Dallas for George Gammon's one of his groups meetup. Oh, it was the collective. It was his groups. Anyway, so we're there, and it was the last night we were there. We were at the hotel, and we were going to be over in Miami the next night. And it was me and it was his photographer guy, his PA, Tom, of course. We're at the Mexican restaurant. We're just sitting minding our own business. It's like a Sunday night, right? And this chick walks by. She's not an American girl, and she just kind of breezes by us at our table, and she takes like what looks like a tab, like a bar tab, or like the paper arena with free menu stuff, and she just does this on the table, looking at it, and he picks it up and he looks at this, and it says Ashley something or other, room whatever it was, and a phone number on it like that. He holds it up, and I actually have a picture of him holding the thing up. That's Justin Waller's life, like in a nutshell. And I could not believe that happened right then and there. I'm like, wow, the only guy that I know who could happen.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I've seen that happen before. So again, like I recognize the other thing is I want to make this. He didn't open his mouth. Oh, like, there was this. I want to make this point, like, and you and I've had this discussion before. Like, we've talked about. I've talked with you about this before. I'll hold the bikini competition, and then there's girls up there competing with like the top tier girls, like Amber McKee and Masha Dida. And then when they don't win, they're like, this thing is rigged. They're devastated, and we're like, bro, you had no chance. Like, I appreciate you coming out here. Congratulations. It takes a lot of fucking courage to go up there in a bikini. But like, you had no chance.
You look amazing.
They're gonna beat you. So my point is, what the other thing we're trying to say is, we acknowledge there are guys way better looking than us, way more attractive than us physically. We're not delusional in this idea that. So why? I don't think that I can play small forward for the Lakers. I don't think that I can afford 3 Bugattis. I don't think that I can. Maybe I can. Probably not. Probably can. Yeah, just be yourself. If you have good energy, you can. No, that's the thing. Like, we're not delusional. Me being delusional, I don't have a company. Me being the delusional, my employees like starve. Like I can't be delusional. Exactly. That's my point. And so that's the thing. You talk to these, and you mentioned this before. And I've talked about you specifically. The girls who will sit there and ask us, be like, hey, can you fly us out for babes and toilet? It's a charity for children, bro.
I flew from Australia for it.
Yes.
That's what I'm here for.
You
I earned my every
I'm like, there's 30, 40 girls here with millions of followers, and we're gonna pay for you to come to a children's charity. Yes.
It's like, are you out here?
No. What's even better? You were missing you. Wait, they asked you for this.
This girl's hit like her word more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting my hair and makeup done. It's a privilege. Like for me, I said I'm like 20 hours a day for a smart art. It's a privilege to be among people who are amazing. You're doing something good. It's something good. Also, against not a selfish thing. I don't need it's a good thing. It's also against people who are I strive to be like. So you want to be around that. But never stop competing. I think that's the thing. Like, you can always compete, right? Competing is great, but never compare and never compromise. Understand where you're at, who you're competing against. Keep striving for wherever you're trying to go, but never have an unrealistic expectation that somebody who constantly shows up, that could be like an image, an idol, whatever it be, like, they're there for a reason, you're there for a reason. Do not compare yourself, but always raise your level to your expectation.
Well, you heard what Justin said. He goes, the girl will sleep with me and then think she's on my level. 80 or 280? 80 or 280 or 2. He goes, blind cripple crazy. He goes, 1880 blind cripple crazy. Stop. Before you take another step, listen. If you've got foot pain, knee pain, or that annoying lower back pinch every morning, what I'm about to show you will make a lot of big brands very, very angry. Because the root cause isn't age, it's not weight, and it's definitely not bad posture. Look at this. Your foot is naturally this wide, but modern shoes force it this narrow. Your toes, they're squeezed together like they're apologizing for taking up space. That 40% compression destroys your foundation, like building a house on wet sand. And here's where things get interesting. 6 months ago, an Army medic named Dr. Feinberg saw something on a soldier's x-ray that made him freeze. The military had been secretly testing a stability tech to keep soldiers balanced while carrying 100 pounds of gear for 12-hour marches. And the breakthrough wasn't padding, wasn't arch support, wasn't memory foam. It was toe freedom, letting the foot spread, grip, realign, and stabilize the way nature designed. A friend told me about this, and honestly, I thought he was full of it. But I was desperate. My feet hurt, my knees ached, my back felt like it was aging faster than I was. So I ordered a pair, and on my very first step, I stopped cold. The stabbing heel pain didn't show up. My foot sank into this soft, springy support. My toes actually spread. My knees didn't crunch, and for the first time in years, my body felt like it was finally working with me, not against me. That's when I realized these weren't normal shoes. These were grounded footwear, built with spread relief technology, originally invented for soldiers, and now finally available to the public. Inside, the insole hits 12 pressure points using a modernized form of acupressure. With each step, tiny waves of relief roll up your arches. It feels like turning every walk into a therapy session. And apparently, I'm not alone. Over 2 million people have already switched, including folks with plantar fasciitis, neuropathy, bunions, everything. Military-grade materials, waterproof, anti-slip, a wide toe box that lets your feet actually breathe. Some customers say it's the first painless morning step they've taken in 10 years. Independent testing shows it can reduce fall risk by up to 80%. That confidence you used to have, stairs, curves, wet floors, it comes back. And right now, Grounded Footwear is offering a massive 60% off because they cut out the middlemen who jack up prices. But here's the catch. Every time they run this promo, it sells out in under 3 hours. So don't wait like I did. Tap the link, grab your pair today for 60% off with free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Your feet deserve freedom. Give them back what shoes stole. The U.S. Army credo, is that correct? What they said U.S. Army, right? Enlisted. Yeah, man. So, but just kind of going back to what we said before, the understanding of like, I understand that there's some guys that are way better looking than me, and then you see that there's some women that are just absolutely delusional. And he was talking about it from the sense of like some roadkill cover. For me, hosting at this point close to 70 different pageants, I see girls that come and participate, and I love them as people. They're wonderful people. And some of them, we hung out with them at Swimsuit USA. They know they're not going to win, and they just have awesome personalities, and I love hanging out with them. They're having a great time. And then there's some girls out there who, like, legitimately, they think they can get top 5, and they're right, they could get top 5. And then there's some girls out there that are angry that they didn't make top 5, and I'm like, you think, oh shit, like, what is going on here? Like, no, you didn't earn that cover. Your man bought that. You didn't know? You really aren't on the cover of Max. That isn't real. Oh, you didn't know? Oh shit. And I've heard you talk about this before, and it's like it becomes this dilemma because now nobody gets what they should get. Nobody can be happy. I'm just happy when the pageants are winning. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy the pageants have winning. Incredible. It's like back in the day when I was in my rock star 20s, right, in Hollywood, these guys would buy out clubs, like mob clubs. It was a big deal back then. It was a CD bands over in Los Angeles at the time. And they had what was called a pay to play thing. And I can see this kind of happening right now, but it's more like in the Central Marketplace than it's really there, right? But what they would do is they would go in and buy out a club. And
so they buy out the Troubadour.
The band would buy out.
No, the promoters would buy out. Right?
Yeah.
So they would pay for the club, and then of course the club owners didn't care because they were just making money off the bar and then right. So what happened is they would go in there and the promoters would go and get like 4 or 5 bands and say, okay, you got to sell X amount of tickets to cover the cost. And you can't. You got to make a difference, right? So basically, he's just basically covering his cost by promoting, just organizing the whole thing, right? And so what happened is it ended up killing the music scene because everybody could go into the Troubadours, or Roxy, or Gazaris, or whatever, and they could play on the same stage as like Van Halen or Rat or something like that, and then they would say, oh, I'm famous. No, you're not. You're just paying to play. And so it's a lot like the section marketplace right now, which says you can buy your cover for Maxim magazine.
Is that true, by the way? You could really pay to be on the cover?
Yes.
I mean, it's not really. But he really wants it. I don't. That's why sometimes.
There's some magazines that they don't accept anyone other than the girls. Yeah. So it's pretty common. And you're going to see, like, think about any American magazine. Think of the Australian, Mexico, Venezuela, Sweden version of that magazine, the Canada, Maxim Canada. That's where those covers are going to be sold. And by the way, the producer of Maxim Canada probably lives in the US. Never goes to Canada. Nothing to do with Canada whatsoever. It's not even a physical magazine. But the girl can now say, I'm going to cover of Maxim. That's what happens. And by the way, some of those girls are actually really pretty. And CJ Sparks has admitted, she's like, that's how I got started. And it worked out. That's because CJ is a talented model. But for a lot of girls, that's what they did because they got a sugar daddy. So,
yeah. So I'm looking at my hand right now. I'm on Playboy Dinner. I did KO.
Yeah.
I was willing to pay in USA, but the price is extortionate. You have to pay. It's 20,000 for USA. And I got lucky enough that I got Denmark Playboy this month for free. If you have to but same house, I'm going to events, so forth. I'm doing my due diligence with FSM and stuff as well. So I'm doing payment rate a little bit on the events. So I do understand what I'm saying. But yeah, there's no way I'm not paying for it. Because you know what? I'm not doing it. And like I said, you have to pay 20,000, you put it in the
incredible. All right, we got another one coming up here. Let's see.
Being a man hater online has made me a magnet for high value men. There's about 20% of dudes that follow this account, and they're all super chill. Like, guys will message me, and they're like, I know you're talking to women, but thanks so much for your support. And I also have the best guys in real life. One of my guy friends will literally wake up every day and be like, how can I make your day better? He'll like send me flowers and because real men are not intimidated by women who are just like unapologetic about their standards or call stuff out. In fact, they kind of like that. And it will honestly repel really toxic, insecure guys who can't take any accountability. So if you want to repel narcissists, sociopaths, or just like insecure boys, literally become a certified man hater. Because you're not actually hating on all men, you're just unapologetically holding your standards high. When you come off like a bitch, they're not going to want you because they want people that they can manipulate who are like chill and easy. So yeah, this is a little off brand, but shout out to the cool guys that follow this account. And if you're a girly, this is your reminder to be unapologetic about your standards and don't be afraid to be a little bit of a bitch sometimes because it will literally call in the most high value men. Because when you're already like a walking earth angel and you're so generous and so compassionate, you need a little bit of that fiery bitchiness to repel the psychopaths. So yeah, don't be afraid to, let your toxic, man-hating freak flag fly. Okay, love you, bye.
As a male feminist, she stole the video idea from me. Okay, cool. So my first question is, who's going to tell her? Who's going to tell her? No, like what, those guys who are creeping into her DMs, what are they actually? Does anyone know? Are they really guys who like man haters? What's going on? Remember what you said about... Oh, interesting. Tristan, who I said that? The number one harasser of women is who? Male feminists. Listen to me, guys. What's going on here is what she's describing us. The complete opposite is happening. The guys who are actually stable and not insecure are running away from a woman who goes on the internet and requires so much attention that she has to make man-hating videos. That doesn't make you insecure. I don't want it. It's embarrassing to date someone like that. And then the guys who are talking to her, what are they trying to do? That's bad. So what she's done is she's actually attracted the biggest narcissists, the biggest sociopaths. And
they're like so clever.
Yes.
Like, no one knows what I'm doing.
Yes.
Again, basically like doing the opposite of what she's trying to do.
Correct. So the point is the theme of the show is horrible dating advice. And we just see it all the time. Why does that go viral though? Because it's what people want to hear. If you say things people want to hear, you'll go viral. Again, it's another reason. Exactly.
They're like, yeah.
Okay. So how do you think Scott Galloway got on Oprah? So let's do a thought experiment. I'm a guy and I don't give a shit. Like I have no ego when it comes to this stuff. I just want to bang my chicks. That's all I want to do to the point where I'm willing to manipulate, lie, say whatever I want to say. And then this girl goes off and she starts making this content about hating me. In my estimation, I already see getting on her. I see a little bit of insecurity. Now I'm gonna go and talk to her. Be like, hey, I appreciate the stuff you're saying. It's really awesome. Thank you for doing that. You know what I'm saying? These men are actually trash and super insecure. Let's meet up for coffee. Let's meet up for coffee and discuss it. Like, exactly. And so what she doesn't understand is that like she has actually who she considers to be insecure because they don't want to be with her are actually secure, well-balanced men, and the men who are talking to her are actually the biggest sociopaths and narcissists you could ever imagine because they're sitting there tolerating that behavior for one reason: to smash. They are the Justin Baldoni male feminists of the world who are the biggest harassers of women that are there. And we'll just wait, give her a year or 2 years, she's going to do a video of like, men are all trash, they pretend to be your friend.
Isn't one girl like this that she's on?
Yeah, well, Wizard Liz. Wizard Liz is another great example of terrible dating advice, and then you reap what you sow. Another great example of terrible dating advice was, Andrew Schultz and Akash Singh on Playboy. They were giving terrible advice to men on what to do, and then it came back to bite them, and they're sitting there trying to cope. That's essentially what happened. The dating advice, that accurate dating advice for men and for women, it comes from experience of people. If you go talk to a dating coach and he can't give you 400 testimonials, just stop listening to him. Stop. If you can't get 100, go to MOAmentoring.com/testimonials. If you can't get hundreds of testimonials of people swearing that what you do works, stop listening to these guys. I don't know why. I'm just.
For people like Jen with HER2-positive breast cancer, less time in the clinic on treatment things means more her time. If you are receiving Perjeta, pertuzumab, plus Herceptin, trastuzumab, or are considering these treatments, it's time you got to know Phesgo. Phesgo combines these two medications into one treatment. It's a single injection given in about 5 minutes, instead of 60 to 150 minutes for IV Perjeta plus Herceptin. A clinical study showed no major differences between Phesgo and IV Perjeta plus Herceptin. Get the same protein-targeted treatment combo in a fraction of the time. Get your treatment faster with Phesgo. Ask your doctor if Phesgo is right for you. Phesgo is used in combination with chemotherapy for certain types of protein-positive breast cancer. There are serious side effects associated with Phesgo. The most serious include heart problems, death of an unborn baby, birth defects, and serious lung problems. Other possible serious side effects include worsening of low white blood cell counts and administration-related reactions. There are other common side effects associated with Phesgo. Talk to a healthcare professional for more information about the benefits and risks of Phesgo. Please scan code for full prescribing information for additional important safety information, including those serious side effects.
And again, I do think Kathy Noble, I think she understands that. I really do think she's a decent dating coach. She's a pretty good dating coach. But for the most part, I listen to a lot of women and they give this advice, and the advice is always what people want to hear. It's always, you trust your energy. Why are you dating him? He's a Sagittarius. What's going on? You had a dream that he cheated on you? Girl, you should break up with him. Yeah, you had a dream about that. Mercury's in Gatorade.
His complete son is Musa.
This is terrible advice that people are getting. But that advice is all. What is it? They say the truth to get around the world, or the lie to get around the world sometimes. It's just I have no way of combating. These people are so much more powerful than me because they're always going to say things you want to hear, and I'm never going to say what you want to hear. I'm going to call you what you all are. You're all fucking hairless murderers that are the descendants of a broken chain of evolution of people who the only thing that your ancestors all had in common is they lived long enough to fuck each other. That was it. And therefore, all the proclivities in your survival are based on that fact. All your proclivities in your survival are based on that fact. The problem is that's not what you want to hear. Nobody wants to hear that. You can't deny it. You can't argue with it. Like, I'm never going to blow up like this. You're never going to see 100,000 likes on a video where I'm like, hey, you guys are all hairless murderers. It's never going to work. Why? Because it's not what you want to. I believe it. But it is the truth. I bet she has a majority female following. Of course, she said, yeah. So we we all know what's the number one way to market women. Like.
But like as a woman, I see this, and I see monetization. Like I don't actually think those are her real values and who she is as a person.
Yes, she's lying.
Correct.
They're with some of these influencers. They are lying.
Right. But like who believes that?
A lot of people believe that. No, Wizard Liz thought that what she was saying was true. She actually thought that finding a man. Yeah, but like she actually thought that finding a man who wrote poetry about her was reasonable and rational, and that this guy wasn't gaslighting her at all. And then when he cheated, she was so shocked.
I've had people get tattooed.
That's totally healthy and spirit.
Physical action.
I admire that man's security. Seriously.
I have people message my Instagram. My tattoo it at my face. Like the last videos on my tattoo that you can take so long. You know, just like, I love it. I think it's really cool. I remember dating. I'll show you.
People will get a tattoo of me and the guys. The other guys.
He like pulled his sleeve up and I was like, that's the freakiest thing. I was like, oh no. And the boss is walking me out. Good night.
Yeah. This guy sounds like he's being himself. I don't know.
In his mind, he's playing this story. He's like, she saw me. I put the name on my. That's when I knew we were children.
That's like trusting your instincts. Trusting your instincts and having good testimonials are good for that purpose.
Real life experience with these engagements is important because otherwise you look at things like this and you think they're real. They're not real. I look at it.
Yeah.
Monetization, that's all I see.
Well, I mean, it's monetization, but also I think she's disillusioned because now what she's doing, she's further justifying her man-hating comments. Her man-hating comments come from her own insecurity. I just here. You want to know the answer? It's both of us. It's evolution's fault. The reason men cheat is not because of men are inherently bad. It's because of testosterone. The reason why women monkey branch from one high status dude to another is not because of if women are evil. It's because it's an evolutionary adaptation to make sure that the children get taken care of. It's just fucking evolution. Just blame Charles Darwin. I'm not blaming women or men. So being a man hater or a woman hater is inherently incorrect because you're attributing blame to the wrong person. That's the whole issue.
It is what it is. I was going to ask you this, like that chick. What do you think she would say if she had watched that other video that we just watched, where that was it the third date? Run?
Yeah, she would lie.
Imagine how
she would say, it's toxic and it doesn't work. Remember, it can't be both. It can't be both. You understand? It's one or the other. You can't say someone's an idiot. You can't say George Bush planned 9/11 and he's a woman. Your intuition can't be correct and he's a narcissist. Yeah, it's got to be one or the other. Ladies, if your intuition is better than men's, then why do you all date narcissists? It can't be both. It's got to be one or the other. But the problem is, in this case, it's going to be both. I guarantee you, she saw that video, she'd be like, that's toxic. And then she'd be like, I would never fall for something like that. I'm like, you are falling for it now. You think that these guys are crawling in your DMs actually like you. That's what's crazy.
What happens if she is I believe you are just around. So I think she said that it's really good.
She would not alone then make a reaction video talking about how all of you are uncool. That's what she was. A week later, no. She would maybe she might change her perception because she's in this room and she wants to go along and get along. But I promise you, I have this all the time. I've had this happen to me before where I'll debate a guy, I'll rush him in the debate, and then instead like he won't really have any response, and then make a video just trashing me the next day because he's sour grapes. That's essentially what probably. I don't know who this content creator is. I don't want to go after this.
Here's all the things I was going to say.
Yeah. What I am saying is women who make man-hating content are not attracting good men. They're attracting social. Yeah.
But what if it's her key? What if
Reading.
she wants the toxicity? That's what she thrives on. But if she can't think that like the narcissistic men are really after her, and she's just trying to.
Wait, but here's the other thing though. What she's saying about those like nice guys who are reaching out to her is that she's saying again, she's not saying the part out loud. She's enjoying their attention,
yes.
But she would never date any of those.
Yes. So again, that one guy who's like, my friend, he goes, what can I do to make your life easier? I'm like, bro, stop being a simp. That might be your first idea. Yeah, the thing is, normal, well-adjusted men who have high levels of self-esteem self-esteem, do not chase after man-hating women. I'm sorry, it's just not. They just don't.
Because they want women, and Tatum is not.
Exactly. So her initial premise is absurd, and so the rest of her premise collapses under the weight of that. And what the reality is, she's actually being gaslit by a bunch of men who probably don't like her enough, or she just made a whole story and nobody's listening. And so
Those are probably hilarious.
The reason I was pointing that out is because I was thinking about this too, like when that chick was talking about the third date run, and we went off and said, like, oh yeah, of course that's what. And essentially, it's pre-selection, right?
Essentially, it's the men of action.
But
it's exactly
yes. But if Mike, the men of action, says that on a video, you're weaponizing it, and you're a son of a bitch and a manipulative. I would never fall for that manipulative game plan. But if a girl says that on whatever private B podcast or whatever, then that's really great. Yeah. Sure.
If you have sex on the first date, the guy's vasopressin levels will plummet straight away, and all he'll be interested in is testosterone. If you make him wait, his vasopressin and oxytocin levels go up, and then when you do actually have sex, he's already bonded, so it's more likely to become part of a loving relationship.
Wow. So
Yeah, so this is completely false. Vasopressin massively increases during sex. Secondly, withholding sex does not increase oxytocin and vasopressin. It's actually through physical touch, intimacy, connection that these hormones actually increase. And furthermore, all the research shows that sexual timing or withholding sex has zero effect on relationship outcome. In fact, all of the comments on this video were literally, we had sex the first time, we've been married for 20 years. So this is complete bullshit.
Okay, one more time. We have another, even better than Greg Gallagher. So Greg is another friend of the show. He's been on my podcast. Greg, thank you, Greg. Okay, so one more time. She's saying what people want. She's saying what people want to hear. Women like this idea that the reason why she didn't get with this guy is because she slept with him on the first date. No, she didn't. He didn't get with you because you're a man hater. He didn't get with you because you talk too much. He didn't get with you because you act too masculine. Or he didn't get with you because he's not physically attractive. It wasn't because you made him wait or didn't make him wait. But it's a code that women can use to say, okay, I want to make. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with it.
If you've ever felt unsteady or off balance during a normal day, your shoes might be the reason. Most everyday shoes lift your heel and squeeze your toes, forcing your posture out of alignment. That tiny imbalance adds stress to your knees, hips, and lower back with every step. Lorax Pro brings your body back to neutral. A zero-drop, ultra-flexible 4mm sole keeps you grounded, while the wide toe box lets your toes spread natural. So every muscle in your foot can support you the way it's meant to. People switching to Lorax Pro say the same thing. My balance is better, I'm not tripping as much, and walking just feels easier. Rediscover natural balance with Lorax Pro, because real comfort isn't just softness, it's alignment, stability, and freedom of movement. Don't walk off balance another day. Get yours now.
If you want to make it out of it, you don't feel comfortable sleeping with a guy who's like, my point is, when you're making him wait, when you're making him wait with the express intent of manipulating his attraction. See, it's funny. When you're the third date run-in, that's manipulation. But when a woman the sex date. The sex date. When you're the third date run-in, the sex date run-in, that's manipulating these women. But when women withhold sex, no, that's not manipulation. That's totally normal. Okay, that's also manipulation.
Thank God my guys are on the fucking stick here. Orgasms are loaded with oxytocin data. Yeah, I was just about to say, oxytocin is a post-nut clarity. That's where that comes from. Oxytocin actually decreases testosterone. Has the effect of decreasing testosterone. That's why.
So let's look that and prolactin. Yeah. The other thing I want to go over is we talked about this with the game. Wait, is this like a research study? She just lied. What she's doing is she's cherry picking to me something that she wants to believe is true. But also she knows that when she says things like that, a bunch of women like, yeah, you go, girl. I knew that was true. Yeah. It's just like if she went up there and be like,
guys could just understand.
So I'm going to tell you something that's objectively not true. If someone I go on a show, like again, we talk about the gatekeeper. Lewis Howes is never going to have us on the show. Lewis Howes is exactly what I'm talking about. This guy's a huge podcaster. Having someone who is completely unreputable on the show saying things that are not true, but would never have us on the show. That's again the gatekeeping that we're talking about. Go back to what I'm saying before. If you go out there and you were to say something to the effect of, girls, there's a study that shows it's actually true. If you dream that your man is unfaithful, the videos on Facebook. There would be people in the comments like, yeah, girl, I knew that was true. You understand? That's not true.
1.7 million views.
That's not. You would get millions of views for saying something that is objectively false because people want to hear it. That's a problem. The moon and stars. Yes.
Wait, Mike, should we tell a story of our client who actually did this? He actually made yeah, if you feel like you cheated on you, he probably did. He got $100,000 and started selling it.
Yeah.
I won't say who it is, but he actually
It's been so wholesome. Thank you guys for this family interaction. This is our Christmas show. This is a Christmas show. Merry Christmas. Can I start from the beginning?
Oh, shit.
Whoa, wait, are you being like toxic right now? Wait, is this like a possessive thing? Like, I don't like that. That's narcissist. Okay, and now you're my ex. Get out. Please, not out. Can I just throw your money in my face? Oh, please.
Funny. Your ex asked your boyfriend asked you to unfollow or block your ex. Did you do it? Remember not doing it.
My last ex, that were right now. I had been in a situation, one of those situations where I asked it's really toxic. So now I would never ever unfollow anyone because if anyone's in my life or in my space, they're there for a reason, and you're inviting that space with me. Otherwise, yeah, I would just too toxic now.
Could you see why he would want you to go?
I understand, but the people who are in my life now, I want them to do their life as well. So I'm confident enough that people in my life are valued, and they are, they in their life as well. So they're being reflected. So, but you have to understand, I feel like I've got a number of people have been out 10, 15 years, and they've given me good value in my life. I'm not going to get rid of them. If they're valued people, if there's, but yes, I'm very strong about that. I think that you have to be confident in yourself to also accept that that's it's a difference though. Like there's no like if you're a fire signing or something like this, heck no. That's not at all. It's a difference between friendship and admiration. Yeah. And so I'm very strong about that. I wouldn't just get rid of people in my life who have made a big impact with value in my life.
Blue, what do you think? Your current partner says stop following your ass.
It's for me. It's like I love really hard, so it's like most of my exes are not in my life.
Yeah.
So it's like you really have to push me to the point where I hate you. Like
What do you mean to break up?
Yeah, to break up.
So you're saying
so
this is a self-critiquing thing where you wouldn't be following them anyway?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Sydney?
Yeah, my husband following me.
Yeah, for me, it's like if I'm dating someone and she wanted me to unfollow someone, I would just do it. Like, I don't give a shit. Like it's because
it makes you uncomfortable when I care about you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because we have sometimes occasionally I'll have a video that came out like a year ago, or whatever. We'll do an interview and someone doesn't like the way they look, and they're like, "Hey, can you take this down?" And my team's like, "Fuck them. They gave the approval. They should." I was like, "No, man, that was a year ago. I don't care. This video gets no views. I'm gonna take it down. If a girl on dating wants me to unfollow someone or not look, I'm gonna undo it. Why? Because it doesn't matter unless I'm like one of the guys that's going after this woman, this man hater chick, and I'm actually toxic as well. In which case, I need someone to cheat with, and that way, never. Yes, that's a good point. Yeah, you can make her block me. Shit, we are canceled. You can tell her to block the dude, but it's not going to change the way she feels. Yeah. Wait, here's a follow-up video for that.
I want to break up.
If that's what you want to do, I understand.
Seriously? You don't even care? I always knew you hated me. Babe, I'm so sorry about that overreaction earlier. I was being emotional.
It's okay.
Wow, so you admit you think I'm immature? I hate you! So, you're not even gonna chase after me? I guess I mean nothing to you!
Can you just shut up for 1 second? God!
Whoa, babe, what's coming into you? I can't be with someone that has these extreme mood swings. I think we should break up. Just to be fun, but I like to
Why don't you just go to sleep? Wait, sit, say it. What happened? That's you? You ever done that?
I used to do that a lot. It's like I would push people, like, I want to, like, let's get hard and push them to see if they do like me that much. Yeah. And then after a while, I'm like, oh my goodness.
So
One thing
I love about the show is that you guys will like offer up things that we say in this space. Like, it's called toxic. If I say a woman should test a man, that's toxic. But when you guys admit to that, you're back to do it. Of course, let's go back to blaming Charles Darwin. Why do you do this? You have more invested. You have a child. You want to know that this guy that you're with really loves you. That makes sense. It's an evolutionary adaptation. It's not evil. It's just yeah, so stop. So stop acting like it's real.
What about no skin? What about no skin? Would you still love me with no skin? I like that. That's a good question. All my skin. I feel like we'll be now that I'm just like no skin.
I got a course. How to read a woman's mind.
Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay. This one. Really important video here.
Hello, sir. Is this your vehicle right here?
This vehicle right here.
Yeah, is it yours?
My car, yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay. Are you gay by chance?
What?
Are you gay?
No, I don't.
Because you parked in the, right there, I don't know if you saw, in the gay parking only.
I never noticed that.
You didn't see it when you pulled in?
No.
Yeah, because it's going to be a... I mean, unless you...
We're creating a world where genius isn't accidental, but a conscious choice. Specialists at World of Geniuses have developed an innovative testing system that reveals the potential of
Just tell me you're gay. Because you've been parked here already, sir. Unless you just tell me and I'll just scratch it. Oh, you are gay? I'm going to have to ask you just like 3 simple questions so that I can prove that you're actually gay. Just real quick. On a scale of 1 through 10, how gay are you? 1 through 10. 1? Oh, that's not gay enough. Maybe like 9. Okay, you are not? Okay, perfect. And then second question here. Could you give me your best gay voice to prove that you're actually gay? Okay. Perfect. And the next question here is, how many men have you slept with?
7.
7 men? Oh, you were really gay then, huh? Okay, that's all, sir. You're good to go. Yeah, it's part of the LGBT community. Just to make sure to look out for those, right?
I've actually watched those videos before, and they're so funny. It's freaking hilarious. Which is more gay?
I think 1 day.
It's
10 times.
Yeah, it's the commitment to the one.
It's commitment.
guy.
It's like an emotional relationship commitment.
That's not who's the guy. There was this one saying where people were like, "Oh, if God didn't want women to cook, they wouldn't put milk and eggs in their body." And some girl was like, "Well, if God didn't want men to make sweet gay love to each other, they wouldn't put their stuff in." Yeah.
That's there we go. Shout out to God. Now we understand God's plan. We weren't sure. You build 1,000 bridges, you're a bridge layer. It's like one thing. You're not a mechanic. You fuck one goat. You know.
Oh, look at that chest! Holy cow! Is that even real?
Like actually, like you literally can't talk like that.
What?
Like
What?
anything real?
What? That was just for my name. What's funny about it for my guy?
Why do you have that? Like actually,
But he took away her ability to be what? A victim. No, he took away her ability. And I'm telling you, this is something I've learned from being in marketing, running a business, and from being on YouTube. Allowing people a safe place to be a victim is cash money, bro. You will become a billionaire. That's why you will make so much money. Conspiracy theories, whatever, some kind of activist rights group. I don't care if it's fucking Red Pill or BLM or whatever. If you give people, Black Pill is a great example of a victim. If you give people a safe place to be a victim, they feel so safe. And what happened is when she looked at it and there was actually a chest there, she knew in that moment she couldn't be a victim in that moment. She was so excited. She looks angry. She's not angry. She's excited. This is anticipation. I get to be a full-fledged victim right now. I get to yell at somebody. I get to teach them a lesson. And instead, it's publicly embarrassed. Correct. And then it turned around and she goes, which is there's a, it's not right. He has a ton of videos. That content creator has a ton of videos like that. And it's always the same thing. People are like, I can't believe you said that to me. You have a chance at that. Even if somebody thinks that, oh, what a chance. I feel like just going on. Kindly, you know, just kindly. I'm yard. I've been for a long time in yard. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, September. I'm sorry, September. Why would anyone say that? I know. I was surprised as well. Why would anyone remark on that, September? I don't understand. Like, where? And they like zoom in on those people and they're like, whoa, what a hater! It's like, just standing in the middle of our shop. Yeah. They use it, but like, you're standing on the and the lowest cut top, and then you're trying to get a reaction video. And that's what I'm thinking. It's been a good thing. So whenever I get a good, and I'm keep it because I learn my space and that's fine. I think it's just most kind of different parties like this, like, oh god, this big man thing is like, oh, you expect it. I said, well, I'm not trying to reverse the truth. And any time I get is for it, because I am portraying myself as I am. So I can't be offended if some man says to me, yeah, or if somebody gives me a dirty look because I'm like this or that, it's like, okay, that's your opinion. If not, put a triangle on and get the hell out of here. Okay, have you guys seen the video where there's like some guys at an LGBT conference or at some protest and people go, get out of here, you're terrible, you're a horrible man, and he goes, why are you calling me a man? What, you misgendered me? I don't understand it. And you see them just like they don't know what to do because like all of a sudden they can't be a victim anymore. Like there is nothing in the world that will make people more angry at you when you take away the victim. If a guy believes his whole life that women are only interested in money, and you show him a guy who has no money who bangs a bunch of hot chicks, he doesn't say, hey man, thank you for opening up my mind to a new way of thinking. He sits there and tries to get your account paid. He sits there and makes videos about what a terrible person you are. That's what happens. People do not like it when you attack their religion. And that's what happens when there is nothing in the world that is more powerful than fucking one blanket of victimhood. When you take away someone's victimhood, they come after you hard. Anyway, get this next one.
I had a big drought over the summer, and then I'm like re-entered a whole era. The last two guys I've talked to, like in the past month, have suggested using condoms, and I'm like, kind of being offended by the condom epidemic. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm allergic. Yeah, I don't like them. I know who likes them. Sorry, I don't need a rubber ducky in me. Are you calling me a whore? Or are you trying to like protect yourself from STDs I might have? Did you ever ask them? Like, why are you doing this? What are you so afraid of? Yes. What did they say? This happened to me like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, look at you looking for a condom, and look how it's ruining the mood. And also, like, why do you need one? What do you say? He just like thought it was practicing responsible sex and boundaries and I was like, blah, 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 blah. Do you tell him to grow up? I got the egg. I haven't had it. I just don't like that vibe. Yeah, I wouldn't either. It's too simple.
Bro, it's not mysterious enough.
It's a mentality. It's like a reason to be offended. But also shame.
Because I don't trust you to be on the pill. How's that?
No, I'm at the point where she admits to be on the whole phase. Yeah.
I'm doing it.
You guys understand? She feels Like she just wants whoever she wants to not get it. She feels entitled to that. Yeah, that's my point. It's just funny when I hear that, and it's just one of these things where it's like this generation is so entitled to what they believe. Condoms are important now. Here's another controversial.
I think it's a passport bro. Passport bro is a man who is done with entitled, ungrateful, high mileage women in the West demanding a provider status while offering nothing but an attitude and OnlyFans link. Done with 50% divorce rates, false accusations, alimony, traps, and child support jails. Done with feminism life. You're toxic if you want a feminine, loyal, fit, debt-free, low body count. So he grabs his passport, flies to Colombia, Thailand, Philippines, Ukraine, Brazil, anywhere but the U.S. Places where women still value men. Look, stay slim, don't weaponize sex, and see marriage as a partnership, not a paycheck. Stats don't lie, my friends. U.S. women initiate 70 to 80% of divorces. 60+% of Western women, 18 to 30, are obese or overweight. The average Western woman, 7+ sexual partners by the age 25, and that's backed by the CDC. 43% of U.S. men under 30 are celibate, rejected, or priced out. Foreign wives, lower divorce rates, higher happiness, traditional values, actual gratitude. Passport bros aren't running, they are upgrading. So, you guys, smarter, not bigger. West failed the men, so men left. Can't blame them.
All right, what do you got? Staying slim in the third world countries. What do you guys like? She lives in Eritrea and she's skinny. How did she pull that off? There's a woman from Somalia. She's fit. Very versatile. I want to hear everyone's opinion about this. Yes. It's essential. It's the golden ticket.
Of course, they're adorable and they want to be a good wife and do whatever he says.
It's sexual arbitrage.
I thought when he first started saying, or when she started saying that, I thought it was more like going to Colombia for all the hookers.
Yeah.
Right. You're skipping ahead. We're going to get to that point. What you're saying is correct. Keep going. Anybody else? Anybody else have an opinion about this? Okay, so the passport bros that have sometimes they come after me and feel more upset because I do think it's probably, I don't think you should be a passport bro unless you're under 14% money back. We've actually tried going out and talking to women here. The thing is, the problem is, the answer is actually somewhere in between. They are right. There are a bunch of entitled women in this country. There's studies that show, in fact, there's no exception to this. If the GDP of a country goes up, the birth rate goes down, in part because women have more options. And that's fine. I'm not, in and of itself, that's not the issue. The problem is, if you're a guy and you want to get married, then it's probably easier for you to go to one of these places and try to get married. Here's the issue. None of these fucking dudes are going to these places to get married. They're going to these places for sex tourism. All of it, you notice she didn't say Sweden. Why did she say Sweden? Because I think the standard of living there is higher than it is here. You notice that she didn't, like, her other countries, she didn't mention Germany. She didn't mention the women who go to, like, I'm just trying to think of some other, Japan. They're not going to Japan to be passport bros. Why not? Because those women actually probably make more a year than we did. Only places like Colombia, Panama, Ukraine, where the standard of living is like at Mexico or lower. That's what they're
exploitation.
Exactly. So that's the problem. The thing is, if it was just a ton of men that I met that were actually doing this and then coming back to have like traditional Catholic, Orthodox, or Protestant or Muslim weddings, then I would be like, okay, man, you know what? This passport bro thing is real. Whenever I talk to the dudes who go there, it's like, yeah, well, just some more yellow, and like, oh, for real, you try to find a wife from New Pizza that you met in fucking Medellin, she didn't turn out to be a wife? That's crazy, bro.
I watch a lot of night videos. I see that.
Yo, I'm actually, okay, so you know, I've said this before. If you have photos of yourself going to Dubai without anyone else, ladies, take them down. Like, don't, you need to be hanging out with your family or something. Do not have photos of you in Dubai by yourself. That was the same thing. There's no way I'm Colombian. There's no way I'm going back to Colombia unless I have my mom with me in a photo, or my brother, or my girlfriend, or something like that. There's no boys trips to Colombia. There's no boys trips to Colombia, man. Because even if I was participating in it, I don't want people to know about it. So like, I would keep that shit on the deal. And there's just always like these, what do they call, like solopreneurs, these guys, these tech guys, move out to these places where it's just like, and the crazy part is, it's like, even if they come there fully speaking, I'm not going to pay a prostitute for sex. Like they absolutely believe that to be the case. They don't recognize the women can immediately tell you don't speak Spanish. You are from a third world.
My game's so good. She doesn't speak English.
She doesn't speak English right now.
My game's great.
She just needed it just to feed her family. I don't know why she likes me so much because she's not this fat American woman. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
Can I throw devil's advocate in here really quickly? Because I actually had to write, not from my blog, but I wrote an article for this new news site about sex tourism, but it was the opposite sex. It was 40 plus were like divorcee women, and primarily in the UK, I think is what it was. But they will, basically sex tourism for women, or they'll go to African countries, or it's usually like East African countries, or like between like 40 and 50, somewhere around there. And they're usually divorcees. And they're taking them
those Nigerian men, yes.
And they go there, or they go to Jamaica, or they'll go to Nigeria, or they'll go to someplace. The thing is, it's like the guys there are like they organize because they know that the girls are coming there, but they're just basically there because they want to live.
So they're passport.
Yeah, passport sisters.
Yeah, whatever the term is.
HL3. Shout out to J.A. Lynn. HL3.
So there is actually a globally sex tourism.
These look from what they decide young girls is like the reasons why they're doing things like I understand that what you're saying is that like 40 kind of learn about it.
But it's interesting they go to East African countries and Jamaica and not Thailand and Philippines, Bali or whatever.
And he brought it out. This had been married, they've got 2 children, but it wasn't passed on right. What we will laugh about the time, what is that real? I think that it has its pros and cons, and that we do. So it has pros and cons. I guess everyone has their own reason why.
In theory, and in a vacuum, the passport girl idea I agree with. In practice, I just see excuse for sex tourism.
I think those are pretty common. Like most of the guys who are like really uber advocates of like passport growth they're not bringing the girls back to the United States. They just expat to like Vietnam or Thailand or Siam or but like then they have like I shout out to Tony Hughes, he's a good friend of mine. He's got literally has a hair of like 4 girls, I think, that are like, and he's married all of them, like because you can polygamy is legal whatever country he's in, and that's just what he does. And he comes back to the U.S. and does his thing. He goes back out there. He lives there.
Back entitled limited in the U.S. and he goes back to his skinny obedient life.
So speaking of guys,
good job, brother. I get it.
He's like, are you ever gonna move back to the United States and bring your girls? Hell no. It's like cost of living way lower there. It's like literally lives like
As a gay man with a lot of girlfriends, the 2 most common complaints I hear from my single friends is, 1, that apps have ruined dating because guys never go up to girls anymore to ask them out, which they think is cool if guys have the confidence to go up to them. And the number 2 thing that they complain about is that it's creepy when guys go up to them because they're just trying to have a fun night with their girlfriends out of the bar. So do with that information what you will, and good luck in the dating world.
That is incredible. That is incredibly true. Like there was a one video with Tara. We showed it last episode. Tara's the owner of Unruly, the Unruly agency, and she was talking about, I wish that these girls or these guys would come up and talk to me, if they're good looking. And then she leaves that little caveat as, to, and like they're so good looking, they go up to several girls in the night and say, hey, I think you're attractive, I'd like to take you on a date. It's going to work for them. And not for Sandeep from New Delhi. It's not going to work for him. I hate to use that as a character, but it's just, we have so many Indian clients in Men of Action that we help. And it's so funny because they're all dating with beautiful white women now. It's just crazy whenever we see this. Shout out to the beautiful one. She's the lobby. She's lobbying the beautiful white woman here. Cancel her. I think the part with the missing is they're good looking enough. It doesn't matter if they're arrogant or not arrogant.
Looks covered on a multitude of sins.
Well, I agree with you. You saw that other video where the guy's like, "Will you be my girlfriend? Will you be my girlfriend? Will you be my?" And they just no, I agree with you. It's not the right approach. I'm telling you that's what most men, like a guy who's legitimately he's above average good looking. Women see him as a 3 or a 2, not find him attractive. And when he goes up and does what you said before, he gets no positive responses from women, other than women who are just horrifically unattractive. Then he gets the responses from them, or he gets responses from women who are sex workers or mental disorder or something like that. And so that's the issue. It's like, I understand what you're saying, but you're also seeing it from your standpoint. You're a girl who's being approached by men. For men, just do this experiment. I do this with my friends all the time. So I'm going to Tuck Madera Saturday night. I'm going to ask, spoiler, I'm going to ask all the girls at the table and I'll be like, what is my girlfriend? Yeah. I'm going to ask them, what does the busser look like? And none of them will ever be able to tell me what the busser looks like. Ever. Usually I'll say, hey, what does the bartender look like? They have a good looking guy who's a bartender. They're like, oh yeah, he looks like blah, 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 blah. Well, tell me about the busser. The busser? I don't know. They just don't see these men. They don't see them. And so that's the difference. And so my whole job is to help those men get seen. So explain that. Go ahead.
I remember every person who ever brought me a shot of tequila. So, busser, waiter, person at the table, shot. I remember.
Yeah, this mental archive.
It's like a whole library in there. It's not a lot of shots.
I was gonna say, well, we were talking earlier about like pre-selection, and we were getting into when guys try to manufacture their own pre-selection. That's when you get the creepy vibes. That's when the guy who
makes all pre-selection things.
One of the things that I talked about in my sixth book for like when I talk to my guys, they go, well, I'm not coming off as a creep. I'm like, well, because you're incongruent with what you are projecting.
Like coming off as a creep in person, online,
both. In general. Usually it's in person. That's where a lot of the conflict friction comes from. But like if they're online, if they're doing texts and stuff like that, it's kind of easy to like make miscommunications. But when you're right there in the moment and they're looking at you, and maybe a woman is semi-attracted to you and there could be something going on there, but if you're projecting one image or one perception and then the conversation doesn't gel with what that woman expects from
Mike and I talked about this, right? Go back to the pickup days. There was what's called like a demonstration of higher value, but when the close guys are doing it, they're doing an explanation of higher value.
And that's why that's what gives you the creep vibes, because the guy's trying to convince you with reason and rationality.
Not that Mike knows anything about pickup, he doesn't know anything.
Because what's happening is you're trying to convince that woman to decide to have sex with you instead of like letting it happen, letting the emotional association happen, rather than trying to say, here's a list of reasons why you should fuck me right now. I'm a great guy, I have a great family, and qualify yourself. But if the qualifications don't match with that woman's expectations of the fact that it looks like you, presents like you, that's where that incongruency happens. Because what happens is those guys, and then when a woman makes the connection that this guy is trying to convince me that he's higher value than he actually is, because there's a disconnect between what he's projecting and what he's telling me, the conversation that I'm having right now, that a guy who looks like this or a guy who is like this wouldn't act like this or wouldn't say those things.
But you should do that. But it's totally okay for your super hot female friends to brag about it.
Yeah,
it's okay. That's my point.
That's why that's the difference between demonstrating on expert.
Right.
It's better to have third-party threats. It's better to have like a third-party confirmation, because then you're not manufacturing
No, but it's all still manufactured. Even it's
manufactured, but don't seem like you're manufacturing it because we saw this one. Remember the picture we had of that guy who was who did his before and afters, where the guy was like kind of like I think he was probably about like 20% body fat, and then now he's down to like 10%. Yeah. Right. And in the one, he's got the dad bod, and all the girls go, "Oh, I love it. He was the dad bod guy, right?" And then there's the dude who's at 10, 9% body fat. Kind of thing like that. Because he's flexing, because he's doing that, that's the guy trying to prove that he has something like you should want me because I look better now. And so what naturally women go, well, I like you better than that, which is bullshit. But the thing is that guy wasn't doing this, he wasn't flexing, trying to manufacture value by doing this, just by posing, right? If the guy was on the beach in a t-shirt where you can see his muscularity and stuff like that, that woman would infinitely be more attracted to that guy because he's not trying to do it. He doesn't know how hot he actually is, right? He just is, right? Yeah, it's the same fucking dude. He's just not doing it. He's just doing it. Yeah, exactly. Which one are we doing? Okay.
This one's pretty ironic.
I think the reason why people don't want love is because most women want their bills paid. They don't want love.
Oh.
They got 4 or 5 people. They got 4 or 5 people because they got more than 4 or 5 bills. And I think as long as we're in this transactional era of time, it's never going to be able to get back to love. We got to focus on the core value of what actually matters inside of a relationship. And we've strayed too far. Honestly, don't get mad at me. I know there's a lot of ladies in there. It's the truth. Honestly, we live in a prostitution era.
Wow.
Anybody know why that's incredibly ironic and funny that she said that? No, who's she saying it to? Fucking Nick Cannon, who has 9 babies mamas who have no relationship with him, and he's just paying their fucking bills. Are you kidding? Like, that's why I was like, she just said that to Nick Cannon. Like, again, I'm not saying that Nick doesn't love his kids. Yeah. Does that mean you need to level up the guys that you're talking to?
Or just like, it's not embarrassing to have a job. Like, a lot of girls are really like, oh, I can't have a job. I don't even know that I have a job. It's like, it's okay. I hate to work at a job. Like, it doesn't matter where you work, you're a waitress or a bartender, whatever. It's okay to have a job. I feel like nowadays it's like people are like so embarrassed for anyone to think that they do anything besides like influencer or whatever. It's like, no, if you work at a restaurant, great. That's awesome. Like, having a job is a normal thing that people should do. We need mechanics, we need waitresses, we need doctors. Like, everyone can't be an influencer. Like, sure, it sounds cool, but it's not realistic. It's not cool. Yeah. I say from my it's like I had a lot of things on the goes. In my 6 service in my choice. They my pick for a mom. Because the other side of it, whatever, it looks like a black mind than my slide. But he says, well, it's not glamorous. So yeah, so you need to have a job. And I think COVID, I think that COVID showed that, every job is done. I think that and I think for men especially, I'm not sure for men, that it's not better to have a job, and it would, no matter what it is, have some kind of income coming in. Is that attractive for men?
There's a difference between a woman having a job and having a career. Okay, so it's one thing if the woman is like she works as a nurse, if she's a professional in some kind. It's a different thing if she's like a careerist, right? So it's and I think one of the things that really becomes a disconnect for guys today when a woman is a quote unquote influencer, that's career. That's career. Because what it is it's like I'm going to magnify myself that much more. And I'm not saying women shouldn't be able to do that. Go ahead and do that, but don't expect a guy who's just got a 9-to-5 job, who's is a plumber, or he's goes gets up in the morning, goes and puts in 40 hours and comes back home. Don't expect that guy to have something to relate to you about if you're well, what about my career? Like if you're prioritizing your career, understand that you're with a guy who's not about that woman to prioritize her career. It's one thing for a woman to have a job. It's another thing for that woman to be a careerist. Your target demographic here, Mike. This is Rajiv Singh. It says, Mike, what is your opinion on these young lip-smacking guys going viral and literally promoting facial surgery? Yeah, I was talking about that.
Yeah. So one more time, it's because they're saying things people want to hear. So either you can go get the surgeries and smash your face and do the jaw exercise or whatever, which most people aren't going to do, or you can look at those guys and say, oh, you see how much better looking they are than me? That's why I got those things. That's why women don't like me. That's why I'm not having any success with women. And now I understand it's because women are evil and picky, and that's what's going on. What the look smashers have done for most men who watch the look smashers, what the look smashers have done is they've caused men to think, okay, this is the reason why I'm not getting women, and this is the excuse. Now there are good parts of it, like in particular, like get in better shape and and dress better. That part is fine. Get in better shape, dress better, look better on camera. That part is correct. That's asshole, right? It's the other part where he's like, yeah, you're not at least an 8, and your wife is always going to want to fuck some other guy, and she's always just going to come out and cheat on you. Like, it's not true. It just isn't true.
And you should get a prescription for microdosing men.
Yeah. But I mean, it is true. But like again, like for his standpoint, I just think he's, new kid on the block. He's 19 years old. He's just saying it. But the thing is, he's saying, because you remember that other clip he had? He goes, "Women above 22 are useless." Do you remember that? It's pretty funny. So he says that. But why is he saying that? He's saying that because he's with Myron, and he's saying things that people want to hear. Again, if you guys want to go viral on social media, don't say things that are transgressive. And don't say things that are scientific. And don't say things that are true. They could be true, or maybe they're not true. Say things people want to hear, and you will go mega viral. Unfortunately, I'm trapped in a space where I can't do that. I can't say things people want to hear. I can only tell the truth. That's unfortunate. That's not unfortunate. Well, it's fortunate for my clients, I think, but it's unfortunate in general because there's always going to be this gatekeeping that stops people.
We're never going to get past.
Yes, that we're never going to get past because we're not saying it in a way people want to hear. And by the way, there's people who are way more bombastic than us. Like I think the way that Myron and Andrew take, the way that they describe things is just, it's even more extreme. But the deal with them is they've gotten so big and so popular that they're past that because they can't ignore them anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's gotten to a point like, apparently Chris Williamson did interview and take, and they just never showed the video. I know for a fact Owen Cook went on Iced Coffee Hour. It was there when it happened. They never posted the video. There's like certain people in this space that are just not allowed to be platformed. And I'll just say this one of them. If the people from Jay Shetty are watching this, I already know. Somebody who went on Jay Shetty in the last year, I'm not going to say who it was, talked about me for 5 minutes on the show, and you cut the whole thing out. And I get it, right? I understand. But like, at some point, like, can you just stop the gatekeeping? Like, if you're so afraid, why don't you have them on your show? And then if you don't like the episode, don't show it. The problem is your audience isn't going to like it. That won't be the problem. The problem is your audience isn't.
The problem I have is when the fucking gatekeepers decide that they're going to look over the gate and go, oh, that Mike Sartain guy, I'm going to take that from him and take that from him. And oh, there's Rollo, I'm going to take his shit over here. And I'm going to cook it up into a big fucking goulash and pretend it's my fucking shit.
Go on Oprah and talking about, exactly on this idea.
Yes, exactly. Oh, we came up with this brand new idea. And then everybody goes, oh, Rollo said that 20 years ago. And they're like, who? They have no, like I said, we're never getting past the gate. We're never going to fuck. It's just, we're not in their ecosystem.
But hey, shout out to all you guys who.
That's why we're going to shout out.
Yeah, we're doing. Shout out to all you guys who won't let me pass the gate because apparently you all watch my stuff. Yeah. All of you are just repeating, like literally, saying words like.
Literally the day after the show is
like you're saying words like, I swear to God, you guys are putting ChatGPT on these episodes and just like scraping everything we say using the topics. Because it's crazy when I listen to these like mainstream blue pill content creators basically copying exactly what I'm saying word for word. You talk about make choice copying, you talk about pre-selection, you talk about you can't go to bed at 9 p.m. if you want to have a successful dating life. They're talking about you don't have to make up your bed to be successful. I see all these things and I'm like, yo, are you just like blatantly plagiarizing me? This is wild. But you have me on there. And it's just so funny because, I'll just say this about Roland. I've never seen anyone in history, up until Nick Cortez, I've never seen anyone in history where people will talk about him on a show but won't have him on the show. Nobody more than Roland. I've never seen anything like it. The number of times he's been brought up on Tom Billion, Lewis Howes, Chris Williamson, all these other shows. Rob Henderson, Lex Freeman. But you feel comfortable talking about it. But you don't have him on the show.
You mean to do something right.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite part is when they go, well, I have him on mute, I don't know much about him, but for the next 45 minutes, let me tell you everything about this.
And the other one is like there's no
So the thing is, like, I have, we just crossed 4,200 clients. We had 70 guys doing them.
Say my name.
And the thing is, for those guys, they're getting the help they need, regardless of whether or not the gatekeeping happens. And so that's what I'm really grateful for, is that at least to some people I can speak and actually give them actionable advice on how to fix it.
Yeah, bro, I don't get a hole, man.
Yeah. The platitudes of just go up to every girl and ask her to be your girlfriend, right? Which is, may I meet you as a standard? May I meet you? Are you open to every girl? Are you open to being down right now?
How dare you?
Send 500 messages on every dating app right now. It's like, that's the dating advice that wins out, and those guys get on those shows. The same things people want to hear. And I don't, we're not.
You have stolen my dreams.
It's really fun.
Alright, here we go.
Explain the most confusing thing that women do. She acts interested, she's flirty, she's warm, but the second you start giving that energy back, she backs away like you scared her. Listen, most guys think they did something wrong. You didn't. She was never interested in you. She was interested in the attention you were giving. Some women don't want a relationship. They want reassurance, validation, entertainment, a little ego boost to get them through the day. So when you finally give her what she wanted, consistency, effort, clarity, it gets real. And she never wanted real. She just wanted the feeling. She wanted to flirt, not commit. She wanted to feel chosen, but not choose you back. She wanted the spotlight on her, not a connection with you. And when a man starts showing genuine interest, it forces her to make a decision, but she doesn't want to make one. So she pulls back, gets distant, says she's confused, all of a sudden needs time, she's busy. No, she just liked the chase more than the actual outcome. And what you did wrong is you kept trying harder because it felt like she was almost there, almost choosing you, almost going to commit. She wasn't almost anything. She just liked the version of you that wasn't sure yet. If she wanted you, your effort wouldn't scare her. She would welcome it. Stop chasing women who run the second things get real. Find one who matches your energy. Link in my bio for one-on-one versus advice.
Let me explain something to you. Women that don't want to be told they're playing, they want you to be a better player. In this case, like what she's saying is like incredible. Again, the whole point of the show today was terrible dating advice. What she's saying is so incredibly true. It is. There's so many guys out there. What'll happen is a girl, I ask my clients sometimes, hey, you guys ever go to a club and then the girl starts rubbing her butt on you, dancing on the dance floor, and then you don't go home. And there's never no exception. Every guy raises their hand. And what I explain to them is like, you didn't do anything wrong. That girl just wanted attention. And here's the crazy part, is when I realized that, and drinks. Here's the crazy part, when I realized that. So I worked, for me, it happened in fast forward. Because I worked at a strip club and because I was being sexualized by these women, every day I would go into the thing, and it just, after the first couple of weeks, I'm just like, yo, I'm tired. The nudity doesn't affect me anymore. The girls calling me, like all of it, none of the sexualization like meant anything to me. They would talk to me like the clients, and I'm like, yo, this, yeah, I was totally desensitized to it. And because of that, when that happened, when they started throwing that attention, attention at me, waiting for my validation, when I didn't give them that validation, then they magically became actually attractive. Again, remember what we said before about earn your attraction, earn your affection, earn your loyalty, earn your resources, earn your time. That's what happens. A girl rubbing her butt on you is not earning anything. She hasn't done anything. There is no sacrifice involved. But men fall for this so quickly, and then you see, again, the terrible dating advice. Does she come and initiate conversations with you? Does she touch her hair? Or does she initiate that to indicate her interest that she wants? That means that she's interested in you. You should ask her out. And it's like, oh, that's so sad that even at this point, it's like any one of these people, and I'll put it up. That did come from pickup. Where my people believe in idolize. Yeah, for sure. It's like one of these people who sit there and like want to debate me or tell me that the things that I'm saying is wrong. You don't have 10% as many testimonials. So like I just don't understand why I keep having to have this discussion over and over again. You don't. It's so wild. The way these things work. If you read papers on evolutionary psychology, it's very clear that women are initially addicted, not addicted, initially stimulated by the man's status or his perceived status.
Yeah, like back to like what that girl was saying. It's like we flirting with a girl online, but then she doesn't really want to meet up. It's like we don't exist. We're just on the internet. Like we don't want to like meet you and like it was a fun conversation. And don't try to make it like real. I don't exist in real life. I'm just online.
Exactly. But do you hear what she's saying? And that is the ethos of what a lot of girls believe. And yet tomorrow night for Babes in Toyland, all those girls are coming out of IRL. Yeah. It's just so wild. Like, over and over, we just keep proving these ideas to be true. The old ways of using dating apps or cold approach don't work anymore. Whenever we interview girls, hundreds of girls, and we ask them, how'd you meet the last 5 guys you dated? It's always a friend introduced me or I met him through social media. It's never
topic is
yeah. Yeah, go to Babes in Toyland and just guilt the shit out of every pretty girl.
Let me say, I give you a good illustration. We were gonna go to the what they call rain house. Yeah, I know. So that, but you and I both go to Ren Fairs, right? And so when you go to Ren Fair, the people who are there who are working fair, they also people like this. And so that, yeah, they're character, right? And they're being character when they're interacting with people fair, right? And so what happens is if that person who's at the fair, working the fair, and they're kind of you got to the whole time too. I'm sure you've been there enough to do so. When that person breaks character in your hands, and so suddenly now you're no longer in Elizabethan England in 1520. You're now here in 2025, and you're speaking regularly. So what happens? You've broken that character, and I think it's something that's very similar to what goes on when you want to have just that sort of that interaction where we're both playing this character. I'm at the club, you're at the club, kind of. We're doing this, this back and forth, but then he breaks the character, and you're like, oh, you wanted this to be real, right? Instead of we're playing a role. Yeah, you're playing fantasy. Mm-hmm.
It's just off-putting, it's like shocking.
Yeah, shocks. Yeah, exactly. And it's like I'm at this fair because I want to pretend for the next 4 or 5 hours that I'm in Elizabethan England in 1520. Right? Yeah, it is. It is. The club is hard.
Isn't that what stripping? Isn't being a stripper is you're working as a girlfriend?
Yeah, basically.
You don't want to learn the things. Cosplaying as a girlfriend. Cosplaying as a girlfriend.
That one?
Yeah, this one's pretty dark.
There's a lawsuit not too long ago by an artist that was like hired to your label that was dismissed. Twice. What did you learn going through that?
Never work with women.
Oh, come
on. This truth in every joke. But it's a sad truth. Like I would never be alone in a room with a woman that I work with. Like ever again.
What?
It's too risky. That case was dismissed twice in 2 different states. And there's hardly no mention of it online. When that case was brought up, it was on every single blog, every single front page. And I lost so many brand deals, relationships off of a story that was not even slightly believable. She said I sacrificed a goat in a sexual ritual. All people read was the headline, right? And that's all it takes to lose everything. That's a crazy concept. I lost millions of dollars off of an arbitrary story that some woman told. Like a crazy, crazy story that someone told. So, with that being said, how can I be comfortable being in a room with a woman that I work with and not feel like she can just say whatever she wants? It's not worth it to me.
She really push, I was dismissed twice.
Yep.
Me too, stand a lot.
Yep. Anybody else?
It does suck that, like, I guess it was a huge deal when it was like a scandal and it was accused, but then once it was dismissed, it was like.
He was like really goated.
So like, I never even heard that story, but like, I probably definitely heard it.
Yeah, Trevor Blackmire, I think that's what you say. He was accused of sexual assault by Lindsay Hill. Yeah. And then when it came out, there was videos clearly proving that he was innocent. Nobody covered it. It was not. There was no mention of it whatsoever. Way more. I remember in Australia and in the United Kingdom. In the United Kingdom, there was a summary judgment against Johnny Depp for spousal abuse, and then once the trial comes out, Johnny Depp forces a trial down in the United States. It turns out that nothing that Amber Heard said is true, and then in the end, there's nobody cares. He doesn't get. I don't get to see Pirates of the Caribbean ever again because you believe this bullshit that someone said. You guys see how? By the way, I'm gonna say this also. Most of the time, when a woman is claiming that she was raped, she's telling the truth. Most of the time, she is telling the truth. But there's a number of times where she's not telling the truth. She wants it to be true. She's using it as a nuclear option to get revenge on this man. We've seen several times. Goop had a video where one woman was openly admitting to accusing this guy of sexual assault, and he did nothing of it. And when you see this, it destroys this man's reputation with nothing, like absolutely no evidence whatsoever. It's over. But the real hard part is that then the media does not cover the clip. It never covers the clip. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to show that right there was because I want more people to know. Jason Derulo didn't do that. She didn't sacrifice a fucking goat. And that the woman, and I saw the woman, I'll say this, there's no way. Jason Derulo probably only chicken once. There's no way. I don't want to say myself in trouble. There's no way that this is who he chose. Go ahead.
I just go back or something. There are girls where they will like say those things because maybe they didn't like the decision that they made. Or like afterwards. Yeah. There we go. Like, they're like, yeah. And I've ran into people who like would do that. And I remember there was this one specific situation that I was in when I was with my ex-partner at the time. And what had happened was that she was saying like, oh, like they raped me, but would come like hang out with us. And, like that's kind of weird how you would come around, but this person who is my partner did that to you. And I called her out on it. She immediately left. She felt uncomfortable and embarrassed with that.
Because yes,
yeah.
And here's the other problem is that they don't understand.
She wants the attention of being sexual assault.
For sure, but they also don't understand how this works. Like what they'll do often is they'll say it to their friends, but won't go to the cops. So they have this like they're in this like middle limbo ground, right? But then when the guy finds out about it, go.
Because I still get the attention they want from without having to actually make a life.
Of course, does it apply to most of them? Yes, because they're even right, exactly right. Yeah. The opposite is true. Like, for instance, if you had a model in the city and she accused 2 photographers of SA, no photographer's going to want to shoot with her, even though she's telling the truth. It's a terrible. I agree with you totally. And the other thing is, I know girls that live in the city who are actual escorts, and they've been raped before, and they won't go to the cops because the cops aren't going to listen to them or do anything. There's one photographer in the city right now who I know has raped 4 girls that I know, and everybody keeps fucking shooting with the guy, and they don't give a shit. And the reason why is because none of these girls want to go to the cops. Why? Because these girls, some of them are escorts or porn stars, and that's why it happens all the time. But the point I'm trying to make with your situation, the other way around is this. This is legitimate. Any woman or guy out there who's listening to this and like, yo, Michael, what he's saying is an exaggeration. I want you to consider this. A girl goes home with a guy, cheats on her boyfriend, legitimately cheats on him, meets him on stage at Access during Chase Muppers, whatever, goes home with him, ends up having sex with him. And then her boyfriend finds out. So what she does is she says, he raped me. And when she says it, she doesn't go to the cops. So she's living in this limbo area where she says it happened so that her boyfriend doesn't leave her, but she won't go to the cops because she knows it isn't true. And this happens. I know, I have absolutely seen this happen, where a girl doesn't want to get caught. I had a client one time, goes in a bathroom with a girl that he's hooked up with 50 times before, and then comes out of the bathroom. They didn't do anything, but her boyfriend saw him and her go into the bathroom together. And then when she comes out, he goes, what happened? He goes, did he rape you? Is that what happened? Because she understood that if he didn't say yes, if she didn't say yes, that he was going to break over. She goes, yeah, that's exactly what happened. And then the guy's like, well, they go to the cops. And of course, she can't go to the cops because it's not true. So there's a couple of things, and I've mentioned this before ad nauseum. Number one, there should be cameras in all common areas of your house. Not in the bedrooms, not in the bathrooms, but in common areas so you can see people leave peaceably and come peaceably into the house. Number two, men do not pour women's drinks. Women pour women's drinks. Hire a hot bartender to pour women's drinks and make sure it's all on camera so that everybody understands that's the case. And number three, stop sending these fucking messages to women about how you want to show them your dick or you want to see boobs or what. Stop doing this. Every time you do this, like if a girl wants to get naked for you, do it on FaceTime. Make sure nobody's recording it. Because they're only going to use it against you in the end. Because guys don't listen and they keep doing this over and over again. You see these athletes, they said, did you remember we had the Eddie Curry video on the other day? Girls will call us, literally, they'll call NBA players. And they'll get them on FaceTime, and they'll screenshot it. And then they'll take that little, you know how the guy's face is up at the top of the screenshot or whatever? And then they'll put it onto some child. And then it'll look like the guy is like looking at child. Yes, they'll do this, and then they'll blackmail the athlete and be like, yo, we're going to release this unless you give me $50,000.
But it's also not supposed to on the person for like technically under the game next time.
Yeah, well, and there's a lot of NBA players that go there. The other thing I'll tell you that's really great is if you have a threesome, there's no way to see them.
It's three times. It's North Peter, it's something like that. Did that take too long? Did that take too long?
It depends on who you ask. Okay, ladies, let me ask you something. Okay, ladies, hypothetical woman. She's a unicorn, gets comfortable in with a couple and has sex with a man and has sex with a woman. Does she count that on her body count? Who here thinks yes? Raise your hand if you think yes. Raise your hand. Now raise your hand if you think no, that it does not count on her body. Okay, I've met at least a dozen girls who do not think that counts. But also it wasn't an intimate back and forth with one guy, so it doesn't count. I know so many girls that don't know. We weren't in love and he was coming, therefore it doesn't count.
I mean, too long.
You're too off the money.
It's like when people say numbers. Like when people say that they get baptized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's crazy.
When you get work done, you become that's a respawn. I wanted to get your take on this.
Okay, let's do it.
It's called this article on Vogue. The headline says, "Is having a boyfriend embarrassing now?" I think in online media, especially, but all media, there's a romanticization of the independent, feminine, strong woman. And I think a lot of that is really positive. I also think it's created a culture where women are encouraged to kind of be one strike you're out as a man. Oh, he doesn't get along with his parents, red flag. Like every yellow or magenta flag is a red flag. And you're this strong, independent, beautiful woman, and you don't need a man. And whenever I ask for dating advice, the first thing I ask is, would you want to have sex with you? Are you in shape? Do you have a plan? Are you kind? Do you demonstrate artisanship and interest in different things? How do you demonstrate excellence? And the advice I would give to women is what I call second coffee. And that is, I think women are celebrated for exiting relationships, inspiring Carly Simon songs about walking out on that man and you don't need a man. And when men are asked, if a woman had 80% of everything you want, would that suffice for you? 75% of men say, yeah, that'd be great. When women presented with the same metric, 80% of everything you want, 75% say that's not enough. The solve is for men to level up. Yes.
But if you look at the content, what algorithms like, it's a lot of women saying 6 feet, 6 figures. Like, that's not a lot to ask, right? 6 feet, 6 figures. If you take out married men, obese men, men over the age of 50, it's 2% of the population.
Oh my God. Jeez.
And if you talk to people who've been married longer than 30 years, 80% of them say one was much more interested in the beginning than the other, and was almost always the man. The reality is we're less choosy.
Talking about so for those of you who don't know, like I have 3 videos that like multi-million views where I say being 6 feet tall and making 6 figures, it's 2.3. I mean, he is like deliberately plagiarizing the stuff that, and I really like Scott that way, but it's like, I'm not, he probably doesn't know my name and has no idea that was me that he heard it from, but that's where they're getting it from, and then it's like, well, do you want to include us in the conversation? No, you guys are such you hate women. You noticed the 7 women on the show tonight? Did you? No, you didn't notice that, did you? Does
wanted to point this out.
I was shocked when hearing him like verbatim.
So that's verbatim. So the other thing is he completely sidestepped the whole reason why we the boyfriend, right? Well, having a boyfriend, period. Because I'm sure every woman at this table understands the concept of being soft launch, right? Where you don't show the guy on your Instagram because if you do, you lose market share. Okay? Meaning you're going to lose followers, you're going to lose income, you're going to lose. If you don't provide or you don't like upkeep this fantasy of being available, take a ring on, whatever it is. If you don't keep that up, you have if you're doing a soft launch, or even if you just give the guys like your brother on Instagram, that looks like you're with somebody else. That's why they're embarrassed of a boyfriend, because you will lose social market capital by doing so. It's as simple as that. If you would have just left it at that, it would have been so easy. It also works the other way around. Yes, it's the fantasy. You do, yeah, exactly. That's the art.
If you're not back into for example, like more my social media, we never see men on my social media account. You might have on here this like too simple. But if I'm available, if I'm like if I have to be available. So if I'm not available, there's a man there, I lose my money. So I can't be available. So it has to be like this close thing. So I get what you're saying, but it's strategic.
It's social.
It's also embarrassing, like
right.
Now you delete all that shit. It's really embarrassing. Everybody's like, "What happened?" And now you're so curious about what happened.
Just don't admit to anything.
And I get it, and I understand what. And I'm not saying women are wrong or anything for doing this. So that's on you. Exactly. But when you're putting yourself out there and you're putting this persona on Instagram, you're putting it on social media, the fantasy, once again, the role playing is I'm available. It's advertising sexual availability. I understand, because the more availability, the higher you are, the followers you get, the more endorsements you get, the more monetizable, the more economic you are, the better your marketing becomes as a result of that. Now, Mike, what happens when you post a picture of you amongst a whole lot of women?
It's so crazy. It's the opposite.
Exactly the opposite.
Mature stopping only works in one direction. You hear these people on these shows, and they'll be like, "Well, it doesn't work as strongly for women as it does for men." No, it doesn't work at all. Like if I see a woman that I find physically attractive, I don't give a shit whether or not you find her physically attractive. I do not need comparisons. I do not need other men or women to tell me that a girl is hot. If I look at her and I see she's hot, I need no additional context or stimulus or information. I need no further data points for me to find her attractive. The opposite is not the case. The number of women who came out of the fucking woodwork last time I was public about being in a relationship, and all of a sudden realized that I was an attainable man and that I had a hot girlfriend, and all of a sudden they want to message me and tell me how much they miss me. It is absolutely madness when it happened. I couldn't believe it, and I was just like, oh, obviously, because this is why, because we just talk about not that everyone should do this, but like Queen Game. Okay, so I made a video on Queen Game. Now the problem with this is very unethical. This is very unethical, and it's extremely toxic. Okay, so let me say this. I have mentioned previously in my content things that I don't recommend you do, but they still work. Like the guy who sells code, he does know everything. I'm not telling you should do it. I'm just saying it's undeniable. Let's just admit that it's true, okay? And the guy who sits there and has rolls of money and shows off his money, he does get chicks. I think it's a terrible way to get women, but it definitely does work, okay? And the guy who abuses steroids, who's like kind of ripped, those guys get chicks. And some of them, these are tattoos, they get some chicks. I'm not saying you should do it. But the one that is the worst, that is the worst of all of them, is Queen Game. And a great example of Queen Game is the wizard Liz, her boyfriend. Perfect example of a perpetrator of Queen Game. This is the way it works. Let's say me and Sydney are dating, and I go off, we go skiing together, and we get the people behind us to take a photo of us on the ski lift, like this, holding hands. It's a really cute photo of us. And then there's another photo of us holding hands like this, looking into each other's eyes, and behind us is the Burj Khalifa or the Eiffel Tower. And then there's another photo of us holding hands while we're walking through the Valley of Fire together. And then there's another photo of you like this, where I bought you a new car. There's all these photos showing this fairy tale life. There's like rose petals going to your bed, and on the bed it says "Happy Birthday, Sydney." In front of rose petals. You'll see that, and the guy is doing this for one reason. to make his girlfriend happy. To get other women to creep into his DMs so that he can fuck those women behind his girlfriend's back. It's called queen game.
My dreams.
It's so funny because one of my buddies who does the most queen game of any ever, I posted that video and he wrote it and he goes, "That's funny, I know guys who do that." It's hilarious, bro. It's so funny. But yeah, that's essentially what queen game is. And then, so the Wizard Liz is a great example. This guy, his profile shot up through the roof because he was dating this famous influencer with tons of millions of followers. And so he had a bunch of girls sneaking into crawling his DMs out of nowhere, and then he was using his pre-selection, his mate choice copying effect, the bonus effect that he gets as far as attraction is concerned with the Wizard Liz, and then he was using that to bang other chicks on the side on top. Apparently, he didn't sleep with her and he just talked to some girl on Snapchat. But this goes back to the women who know they're going after a guy who's in a relationship. Yes. Don't push back on those girls. Yes, exactly. It's like because they have agency to do that. It's like those women are just unhealable or something. Or those men are toxic for a while. No, but that's essentially what goes on. And then there's so much data showing that women want men who other men want. Okay, women prefer men who are already in relationships because it's proof of concept. It's just so much stuff that goes on in this thread. Somebody put this on Twitter before I got here. And it was a story about 200 women or 200 children that were born because these 200 women used the same sperm donor to artificially inseminate themselves. And the reason why it made the news is because this guy who was just giving away his jizz was had cancer or had some sort of like genetic, marker that you get 90% of the time the kids and the children get cancer as a result of it. And then so they're going, "Oh, this is terrible. We need regulations." I'm like, 200 women picked this one dude, okay? Like, sight unseen. I never met the guy, just saw his pictures and everything. Like, I think we should probably start looking into that side of the story as well, instead of just, chalking it up to being bad luck. Which one? That one.
Something I don't think I'm ever going to figure out is why women don't apologize. I don't know how y'all keep getting away with it, but you're never fucking sorry. You don't apologize, you rationalize. Right? It's what most of you are doing right now instead of listening to my most likely to be brilliant take on the matter. You sit there saying to yourself, "I say sorry all the time. I say sorry more than you do." And the thing is, I give you that. I think women say sorry 1,000 times more than men do. But I'm on to you later. Yeah, see, you've been padding your stats and we've been letting this slide. The only reason you say sorry way more than men do is because you're always saying sorry, but only when no one is asking you to apologize. Yeah, I watch you all the time. I'll watch you. Y'all will say sorry for existing. You will walk into a room that you definitely belong in and go, "Sorry. I made it." Some of you will apologize for something awesome you did. Baby, I'm so sorry. I woke up before you and made breakfast and finished the taxes. Thanks. But as soon as there's any accountability, oh, that's the new joint. Women love accountability. Before 2015, nobody said that there wasn't coaching youth sports. But I realized, like, when women say accountability, they talking about their ability to hold you accountable. As soon as you try to hold them accountable, "Hey, babe, why did you max out the credit card and fuck my cousin?" Be like, I'm a Scorpio in retrograde. I'm And some of y'all want to dismiss this as misogyny. I can feel it. I can hear the little whispers of misogyny. But it's Shaka. He's from Austin. Austin, misogyny. And here's the thing. This is the furthest thing from misogyny. This is actually feminism. Yeah, this is feminism at its highest level. Yeah. This is feminism at a level that your small woman brain can barely comprehend. Guys, I'm kidding. We have the same size brains. Okay, that's just science.
you hear those videos where the guy puts up like big vocab words and asks the girl, like, can you pronounce this? Can you pronounce that? And then we put up, I'm sorry. She goes,
I need so
I don't know how to say that. Sorry.
Anybody have any thoughts on this? No, you guys don't want to talk about it.
I don't know.
No, okay?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe something, I don't know.
It's because apologizing.
My psychologist, we don't know I'm sorry. And I'm not allowed to say sorry anymore because that's the reason why I used to say sorry for different things. So you can't apologize and you're really sorry. So don't be sorry for your little shit. If you're sorry, you are authentically, you're sorry. Yeah, you own it. Yeah. If you're not sorry, you change what you used to put in sorry. So my therapist says to me, just saying sorry that you said that you're sorry. I'm like, I'm glad I got here in time. I'm glad I got here eventually. You change the narrative, how you then, your perception, to how people then come back with you. So sorry is negative. If you put stuff out as a positive way, then you almost narrate the conversation coming back to you. Because sorry is negative. Sorry that instead of sorry I'm late.
So I'm gonna say something kind of controversial. When you can't take any accountability, this is for men or women. Like, how am I supposed to trust you with my kids? Like, I just really don't like this idea where it's just like, well, it's because I'm a woman. I have a vagina, so I make the rules. Nobody told me. I don't think that's okay. Like, I really do like a lot.
The difference is sorry. The word sorry is a difference to like making accountable.
Yes.
Accountable and actually sorry. It's really the same. Sorry. Yeah, that's an action or intent. If you're really sorry, don't do it. Yeah. Why do you have to say sorry?
Parents are fixers, they want things to happen, and they just make it basic. They don't want that immediate sorry. For me personally, I can speak for everybody else, I'm not going to say sorry until I'm ready. Until I process what's happened, I can take accountability, and then kind of have a logical mind rather than an emotional mind. Then I will come to you on my own, and then I will take accountability and say sorry. But in the moment, I may not be able to understand what I did wrong. So don't ask me for a sorry right then and there when I'm not sorry, because I don't understand what I did wrong. Let me calm down. Let me understand what has happened. Let me reflect, and then let me take accountability and say sorry.
That's insight.
Also, action over words. I think action over words is everything. Yeah, I think without action, what you do. I'm not sure about men on the panel right now, but I think the little things as a woman, actions mean more than words. I think you prefer so much more action rather than a story.
Demonstrate, that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just throw this out. Anytime this topic comes up, right? When you're talking about apologizing, but I think I've been asked several times, like, well, besides a woman being very good looking and sexual and everything, what else are you looking for a woman, right? What's what is it going to be? Yeah, exactly. And so people kind of get weirded out when I go. I said one of the things I think is valuable in a woman is insight, ability to do what you just said. Which, you're gonna get pissed off. You make a mistake, especially if a chick makes mistakes. It's like, I don't make mistakes. And then so you get, once you kind of work through that, for a woman to be able to say, you know what, that was pretty fucked up. I should probably go say something. To be able to do that, it's one thing to have that reaction. Everybody's gonna have that reaction, especially right there in the moment. Now the other thing is, like, if the guy is like expecting an apology or something like that, that's different. Like, the guy saying, yeah, I think you should say sorry. Like, that's never gonna happen, right? And I wouldn't want that to happen anyways, because I would want, when I talk about
it's not authentic.
one of the things I always talk about in my books is you can't negotiate your desire, okay? If you don't have the insight to have the desire to apologize for something you said, something, your actions, whatever, it's not being late to a job interview or something. It's like you did something, you said something hurtful or whatever it was. That was pretty fucked up. He's actually really trying to do something, and I interpreted it the wrong way. Having the ability to have that insight, that's very, very rare. It's very, and one thing I find very valuable in my life is that, sometimes I'm like, I had a little argument or something like that, and then the next day she'll come up to me and go, what I said yesterday, I just don't think
I think it's from the age of it as well. Though. I remember when I was younger, I was pro
also shows that you're invested in a relationship too. So
I wouldn't have had it at 20. So I think age helped that.
Right.
But it shows you're invested in yourself too. Like having self-reflection. When you're younger, it's not, as you grow older, same for me as I'm older, like you have that self-reflection. And it shows that you're invested in yourself too. Yeah. There's one that sounds therapy. I would say something. I'm single, but if I have to go we're both kind of therapy day one. I think everyone's been therapy. No, I actually.
You go see your therapist, and I'll be in the squad.
I actually think I used to really bad. I never apologized for anything. I always thought I was right attitude, and then when I was younger, started getting into yoga, and I remember one of the things that really stuck with me is that the problem will always start within yourself when you see a problem. And I was like, okay. So then, even when I would be in, I agree with how you react as well with things. I get high emotions as well. So then in that moment, I'm like, I don't see anything wrong. But then I kind of isolate myself a little bit. I try to self-reflect, and then I'm like, well, wait, maybe was I a little bit too out of line? Did I say something I probably shouldn't have said? And then I go back to it, and I'm like, okay.
When you're in that heightened emotion state, my therapist taught me you are in the emotional part of your mind, therefore the logical part cannot happen simultaneously. So you need to bring down your emotions, so therefore you can go back into the logical mind and reflect and acknowledge. So because in that moment, there is no logic in emotion. There is none. So you have to be able to get back into the logical mind.
Yeah.
Ladies, who here has used a dating app in the last couple of years? Or at all? You guys have never used a dating app? You guys have never, none of you have been on a dating app? You've been on a dating app? You're on a dating app? Okay, cool.
Trish has been on a dating app.
Right, cool. Who here, if you have any female friends who are single, how incredible would it be if there was a dating app where females were only good looking guys? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be awesome? You think that's awesome? You guys, huh? Okay, listen, I think you guys are lying. I think all of you would appreciate a dating app that you guys are reading. So we have a dating app idea for you. You're going to want to show it to you.
Ladies, are you sick and tired of wasting hours on dating apps, scrolling through countless peasants, only to find just one or two decent men worthy of your queenly virtues? Are you disgusted by matching with another guy who listed his height as 6 feet tall, but you find out that he's actually only 5'11" and 3/4? Ladies, it's definitely rough out there for us. I can't tell you how sick and tired I am of getting approached by men who don't even deserve to be breathing the same air as me. In fact, I used to wake up every morning and ask, where have all the good men gone? Luckily, ladies, I found a solution to our dating woes. We no longer have to sift through mounds of unworthy peasants who are under 6 feet tall, don't make at least 6 figures, and don't look like Greek gods. Introducing the last dating app you'll ever need. Only Chads! Every single man on the Only Chads dating app has been clinically proven to be at least 6 feet tall, make at least 6 figures, have 6-pack abs, and have no more than 3 sexually transmitted diseases. That's right, ladies. Only Chads takes all of the guesswork and time-wasting frustration out of your dating life. If you've been chasing Chad for years like the rest of us, then congratulations, your marathon is finally over. From now on, instead of only swiping on the top 5% of men on regular dating apps, you will only ever see the top 1% of men on Only Chads. And rest assured, ladies, Only Chads has a very strict enrollment process for men, which guarantees that each Chad who joins the app is an absolute unit of a specimen. And don't forget to sign up for the Chad Name Change Challenge when you join. Only Chads will pay you $100,000 if you can manage to get one of the Chads to actually commit to you and give you a ring. And I'm sure you have what it takes to be the very first winner. Ladies, our ship has finally come in, and we all get to set sail today. So get ready for the trip of a lifetime. That's right. Everything changes as soon as you join Only Chads. But don't take my word for it. Listen to what Jessica from LA has to say about her experience with Only Chads.
Only Chads, I had to search for NBA players on Instagram and beg to join their guild. At my fingertips, all willing to pump and dump another average, basic woman like myself. So she's the one who can find day, and you could be pumped and dumped by another Chad by midnight tonight, and be back on TikTok in the morning posting another video about how all men are trash. Sign up at OnlyChad today, and let us weed out all of the men on your level for you instantly. And oh yeah, I almost forgot. You happen to have the fever for the flavor of a chocolate Chad? If so, then you should download our partner app, Tyrone Please. Every single Tyrone on the Tyrone dating app is guaranteed to be at least 6'5" with no fewer than 2 felonies and 3 baby mamas. They completely Chad without ever going to the gym. I mean, tell me that's not a miracle. Tell me that's not a blessing. I can't even sweat without feeling like the universe is giving me a little hug. Like, who else does that? Sign up now and start making your friend group extra jealous today. Just think how amazing it will feel when you finally hold the golden key to racking up your body count with nothing but highly desirable Giga Chads. Download our apps today and quench your insatiable thirst for emotional highs from toxic, degenerate bad boys. Get the premium version for only 2 sacks per Chad.
Alright guys, who here knows a woman that would sign up for this?
It's just like AI.
Awesome. Yeah, the whole thing.
Oh my god.
Isn't it incredible how good AI is? That probably took somebody like they wrote a script. It's like 50 seconds. Isn't it crazy? Anybody else have any thoughts about this? It's only funny because it's true. It's completely true. That is exactly like it's the whole like you guys start to understand the point of the show, that dating advice, and sort of inequity when it comes to what people think they can get, what they can actually get. By the way, guys are guilty of this too, especially guys who are like addicted to they actually think that they're talking and having a connection. Stripper roll up, so they're talking to one another. That's essentially what happens. Anyway, awesome, man. Do you want to wrap it up here? Okay, do you have any more super chats you need to read?
No, actually, good.
Okay, awesome. Blue, what do you think about the show?
I found it amazing.
Yeah?
I like how it's very raw.
Yeah.
And how we all have it's an interesting thought to hear like the different opinions. And I feel like I learned a little bit more even walking in on it.
Yep. Beautiful. Sydney?
Always love it. It was fun. And I like the deal.
Yeah.
Good doing the first show in the new studio, and I'll just invite the Patreon.
Good.
It's okay. You can use dating here.
My favorite soldier here, kindly. Yes, give her a big round of applause. I'm excited for you to make clips of this and post it on YouTube.
Yes.
And so,
We also want to give a shout out to Roberta as well.
So Nalu Bay is a swimwear line, and they're going to be one of the people supporting Babes in Toyland charity tomorrow. And also, there's going to be a bunch of Marines in uniform collecting toys for Toys for Tots tomorrow night On the Record inside the Park MGM. Starts at 9 p.m. You can still buy tickets. The only issue I will tell you, just drop off the toys if you're intimidated by beautiful women. If you're intimidated by beautiful women, you're not going to want to come inside. You're going to or Marines. You just want to throw it in like a basketball. Just throw the teddy bear into the box and then run away very quickly. And if you are a guy who claims to have some sort of dating program in Las Vegas, anywhere in Clark County, and you're not there tomorrow, you are lying. Sorry. You suck at whatever you do. Harper, you have a good time? Yeah? Incredible. Thank you for bringing the Taco Bell for everybody. We appreciate that. King Mas. Taco Mas. There we go. Awesome. Abby, what do you think? Incredible. Very good. Casey, what do you think? All right, September, what's going on? Okay, incredible. So we're going to see you tomorrow. You guys are all going to be able to, you're going to come tomorrow, right? Boobs to Toilet? Boobs to Toilet.
That's it, guys.
Okay, you're going to have a great time.
That will do it, man.
Okay.
Check
Thank
out
you guys for coming.
this piece.
I
would say,
actually, I just don't understand, like, one more time. Like, I just hear these guys say, I don't know where to meet women.
not done.
I
Hold on.
don't know where are the good women. We're
Perfect opportunity.
literally we are raising money and collecting toys for underprivileged children. There's going to be 3 times as many women as men. If you're not there,
use social media to be social. We don't use social media to do so. We use social media to create events or get invited to events where there's a lot more women and men, and you can get all these people that you see online. You can put them in a room together where you can act like humans again. We can all be human beings around each other one more time. And that's essentially what the point of it is. Anyway, what do you got coming up?
Well, I just want to repeat one more time. Actually, a little audio is now on Spotify, so if you want some audio files to listen while you're in the gym and you're driving along, please go pick them up.
I would be super
All right, now
interested
it's done.
to hear what you thought about the audio.
That is going to complete Disorented Navel-Gazing, man.
We're asking me about the audible for the new book.
You. Wish I had a soundboard.
Okay. Incredible. Anybody else have anything coming up? Yes, make sure you
What's happening?
tomorrow night. I'll be bringing we got nothing planned other than nothing until the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. The first week of February, we're going there. We're going to all the parties like we did last year. Yes.
We'll do it right here, man.
The show is January 7th.
January 7th.
Done.
Yes, we do. I just have to.
I will sign this.
Yeah.
Pics and everything will be posted up pretty soon. Yeah, man. Gotta do it. I appreciate everybody that watching the journey. I appreciate everybody who watched this and was there throughout this whole journey. Give y'all a good look at everything. And I actually use white charcoal on the eye. Trust me. The way this look right now on this live is nothing compared to what it actually looks like in person.
It's not merely annoying, it's a signal. Your body's way of saying something's amiss. It's a barrier, trapping toxins, making each breath a chore.
I appreciate everybody for watching. We are done officially with this piece. I will sign it. And yeah, that'll do it, man. That's it. Disorented Navel-Gazing, man. Appreciate everybody. Prince will be coming out pretty soon. And I'll be sure to keep everybody updated with all that. Y'all be safe. Take it easy. Appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe, that follow. It's going to be a lot more coming. And keep a lookout on the prints for this piece. Make sure y'all go follow me on Instagram and everything like that. But look at the details. Hold on, boy. Seriously. And now I'm finna seal it. And yeah. Appreciate everybody. Thank y'all. Y'all be safe. Woo.